Hey everybody, Joethelawyer here. Another episode of Analog Mancave. Today we are doing a review of one of the best modules I've ever seen published ever. Red-Handed Doom. I bought it, so I'm not just looking at random ass PDFs. So yes, Red-Handed Doom. Here it is. We're going to go over the module and just talk about. And I say module, guys. I have to say this every time because there's young people watching. But module means adventure. It's the old phrase for module. Rolford Adventure is module. Okay, so anywho, we are live and little pause there. I had to make a White Russian, leaning into the Big Lebowski theme here. Had to make a big ass White Russian. So, cheers to everybody. Mm. I mean, that's fucking good. It's like a chocolate milk with alcohol. I mean, how you beat that shit, right? So anyway, yeah, I usually do this. Yeah, I finally catch him on live, Panther. Yeah, I usually do this at like 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, or something on a Sunday. But I couldn't today because yesterday or Friday night there was a power flicker here because all the freaking wind. I guess the line got hit or something like that. It was ridiculous wind. Power flicker. Half the clocks flickered, the other ones didn't, but the PC did. And for some reason, it caused the wire that goes from the back of the fucking monitor to the plugs into the wall or whatever, the strip, the box on it shorted out or whatever. And that's the second time it happened. I have two identical monitors. About a year and a half ago, one box shot to shit, so I ordered one off Amazon. Now another one shot to shit, so I had to wait for this to come today. I ordered it yesterday and it came today. I just had to wait for it to come in order to do the video because I need two screens. I can't do this shit with one screen. I don't know, honestly, how the hell did I exist with one screen in the past? I have no idea. Once you have two, you never go back, man. You just can't. It's just not a possibility. So let me just check something real quick because of this stupid ass thing. Once I go live, I have to go onto Facebook and turn it on for everybody to see. Just the default audience is me. Who it's like read it, yeah, retarded. So anyway, here we are. We're going public on Facebook. There we go. So it should be public on Facebook now. And I'm just for the first time ever, I'm doing this on Rumble today, and it should be broadcasting on Rumble. I don't know. I know Eric said he tried to do that, and they gave him all kinds of problems and shit. So let me see if it's actually. Oh, it is live. Yes. Look at that, man. Holy crap. Let me see. Let me see. All right. So I'm live on Rumble. Oh yeah, yeah. Holy shit, it's live on Rumble too. All right. Yeah, yeah. So let's see. I'm going to type a comment in Rumble and see if it appears in this text chat. And I'm going to type a comment in the comments section on Facebook and see if it appears in this chat. So that's cool. Little experiment here. We're all learning as we go, I guess. All right. So let's see. I just did two comments, one on Facebook, one on Rumble. That's hi, Facebook. All right. Cool, cool. Joe the Hacker, scary title. All right, so we got the Rumble comment and we got the Facebook comment. They're both appearing. That's pretty cool. I got to say, that's pretty damn cool. So the Rumble one should be live for all, I believe. And then the Facebook too. Now, if I wanted to do it on Twitter, I'd have to actually pay $10 a month or whatever the hell to subscribe. And fuck Twitter, it's not worth that much money. But someday I might do it just for the grok, because it's actually a decent AI. I gotta say, it's better than Chat GPT. I've been fucking with it recently. It's much better than Chat GPT. So I think I'm gonna do the grok Twitter subscription because you get an AI plus you get all of Twitter, all the capabilities. You know what I mean? So that's kind of cool. So we got 11 people here so far. Nobody watching over at Rumble, and your Rumble viewers aren't showing up here. Just the Facebook ones are. Okay, that's good to know. Good to know. Let's see here. Good. So the Rumble thing is going. Raptor 7 is always over on Rumble. What's up, Raptor 7? I see that. And then on Facebook, I'm the only one who commented. So yeah. All right. That's cool. Good. So yeah, let's get a rolling here, guys. All right, so who do we got in here today? Let's see. Let me make this bigified. And there we are. I'm in big and a little scary. I'm a little scary big. All right. So we got Teresa. Thought 3.5 was a perfect system according to some grognards. Yeah, it sucked. And just reading the module, I was reminded because we never played 3.5. We went from 3.0 to Pathfinder. When 4.0 came out, we just dropped 3.0 like a bad habit and just went to Pathfinder, and it got way complicated. I like 3.0. I got to say, it had less of the complications that 3.5 did, and all the flaws and problems that came with it, we didn't notice. It was not a bad deal, but yeah, Decado. What's up? Greetings, Wanderer. Been wondering about character abilities. Would players just like 2 random positives be able to pick as many positives they want, but also negative ones that go with them? I don't know. I don't know. That's hard. It's hard to say. All right, here we go. So just shows the title. All right. Finally catch him on live, Panther. Yes. Need to download more power for the monitor. You know what I need is one of those. It's something that you plug. It's like, I don't know, it's like a quick battery supply or something. Is that you plug all your strips into, and it acts as a massive like battery supply, so that essentially you might lose your power, but all your shit doesn't go dead. You'll lose your internet, obviously, if you lost power, right? But all your shit just doesn't snap and disappear. You got time, is like boop, 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 alert or something like that, and it beeps. You have time to close it down before you lose everything, So that would be kind of cool. Raptor 7, your comment is showing up. Yes, nice. I like that. It's showing up here. This is cool. Thought Root. Hey, new name, Thought Root. What's going on? Appreciate that. Yeah. So I do most of the videos. I share a lot of my videos on Spotify. I share them on Locals, and I share them over on Rumble too. But what I'm doing is some of the random live streams and shit like that, I don't share elsewhere. So if you guys are looking on Spotify, Rumble, and Locals, if you want all the stuff, you're gonna get the main stuff, the regular shit. But a random video or something like that, a live stream. Check out YouTube. You get all the rest of them, and you get a deeper catalog. There's a couple hundred videos that I've not posted over on Rumble and Spotify and YouTube, guys. So check that out if you want those couple hundred. I think they're good videos. Okay, APC power backup. Yeah, uninterrupted power supply. That's what I want. Something like that. I gotta check over on Amazon for one of those things. I have no idea how much they go for. If anybody does, please let me know. I'd appreciate it. Just a rough idea of a good one. You know what I mean? But or if you have any recommendations as to which make or model or something like that, let me know, because I could I could use anything. Any and all advice is appreciated on this shit. Yeah, windmills and solar power would be helpful too. All right, so yeah. So I don't know. I kind of, like I said, I usually do this shit in the afternoon, but I kind of like doing it at night. Actually, at 8:30. Oh, cool, Tony. Thank you. Appreciate it. Over on Facebook, we got our first Facebook viewer. It's funny thing. I do see that we do have one person. Like, I have a display here, and I could click on it and see like where my viewers are coming from. I have 12 viewers. I have 2 on Facebook and 10 on 10 on YouTube, but I can't see on the streaming service how many people are watching over on Rumble. No idea. Oh my God, 11 people on Rumble. Holy shit! Wow. Holy crap. I'm looking at the Rumble page to see this. 11 people on Rumble. That's freaking awesome, Awesome. That's awesome, guys. I appreciate all you viewers over there, man. Yeah. And I don't even have like 11 subs on Rumble. I got like 8 subs on Rumble. So that's kind of cool. So even more people are watching than I have subs. So sub on Rumble, guys. And like I said, if you want the deeper catalog, hit me up on YouTube. If you do want to support me, as I'm paying for all this bullshit now, I do have some subscriptions on YouTube if you want to hop in. Different levels of, subscribing to the channel. So that's kind of cool. Little bundle, little support there. So much appreciated. So it begins. Been watching for a while. Appreciate the unvarnished perspective. Thank you. That's what I typed myself into, like, I think Grok or Chat GPT, and it came back with his profile of my style. And it was unvarnished perspective. Unvarnished pretty much, sums it up there. You know what I mean? Putting a follow on Rumble as well. I keep forgetting about this platform. Yeah, me too. I figure it's a backup in case who the hell knows what happens in the future as to who gets in power and starts the censorship shit again and whatnot. I have no idea, but I'll get into politics here. You know what I mean? But yeah, if YouTube goes and shits the bed, and then we got to have a backup platform, right? So that's Rumble or Twitter and all that kind of stuff. So I figure, what the hell, On my way to sleep, just happened to cross you again. I'll sub you on Rumble tomorrow. Sweet. Rumble's great. It's been getting a lot of momentum lately. Yeah, I think so too. I've been hearing more and more about it. So I put all my new videos up there. There's about 5 videos that I kind of slacked off in February, because if I do a live, I have to wait a day or a day and a half and then download it off of YouTube and then put it over on Rumble and Locals and Spotify. There's like 5 videos that are coming, guys. I was going to do that today, but I got tied up. But I got to put them up there during the course of the week so you guys didn't see. But I'm going to put them up there. So those are the ones I definitely want to put up there. So yeah. All right. So cool. So it begins. Nice sub. Thank you, Weggy. Appreciate that. Yeah, I figured this might be good. A Sunday night, people got more time, right? Because I might switch it to Sunday nights. Need to find a good Twitch alternative. I've seen Twitch, but I've never, I know the Troll Lord guys have a big Twitch presence. They always do this. Sometimes they do a simultaneous stream on Twitch and YouTube, but most of their shit's on Twitch. But yeah, I've never really got into it. I don't know. I guess you could make money over there too, but I mean, Jesus Christ, how many fucking platforms, right? I mean, Christ, I don't know. We'll see. Maybe at some point I'll do a Twitch thing. I think I have a Twitch account, so just a matter of, making it happen. Right. So you got 13 people here, and we got 13 people on YouTube, and how many on Rumble? Right now? 8 on Rumble. God damn. That's awesome. Appreciate that, guys. All right. So let's get to it. Right. What do you think? You guys came here to see a review, right? Only problem when a Sunday night stream can't stay up. Yeah, I know, we're all old, right? And we got our bedtime. So yeah. I'll add detailed comments on videos up, but RHOD is a winner. Giant Playground forums are gold for DMs running this. Oh, okay, yeah. Right-handed doom. I mean, what the hell is RHOD? Yeah, it's fantastic. It's a fantastic adventure. I might run a one-shot of this just when I fuck around with my RPG. You know what I mean? I may just run this. I'll convert it over. I know there's a lot of 5e conversions out there, but I'm going to be doing it with my own game. So it's just a fantastic little adventure, and it's I don't have to do a lot of prep for it. Just sort of balls we're getting into it. I was shocked when I read this thing to realize how much my second edition regional campaign actually copied the form and structure of this thing, like subconsciously, without even noticing it. When I was doing the 2E thing, I wanted a regional game. I wanted to build up of hobgoblin forces after the war. And, there was they were threatening all the lands around, and lands weren't unified, and there was going to be invasions, and the PCs had to go around, set up maybe alliances and groups to work together within the group, within the area, maybe, and eventually they were going to fight off the hobgoblins, and then there'd be a big battle. We never got that far. We got to the setting up the alliances part, but we never got as far as the battles and all that. That's where I was going to sort of take this thing. But it was kind of cool. And as I'm reading this, I'm like, Jesus, man, this thing was so cool. It like implanted itself in my freaking head, and it just kind of stuck there as a model, as that like an imprint of a structure of how to do things. And I was like, damn, I was kind of surprised at that. I was really kind of surprised. Yeah. So let me see. If I hold this up, is it read it right? Yeah, it's reading it correctly. Good. So I'm still switching. That means if I touch the right side of my head, you're seeing on the left side. Yeah, it's all messed up on that front. But it's the only way I could do it like this, where I could show you when you could read it, Yeah, so let's see. Detailed comments. Get up for work. 3:30. Hell, Jesus Christ, man. Holy shit. The community content I read in Giant the Playground is just awesome. What is Giant? I mean, Giant the Playground was that comic from like 15 or 20 years ago, right? I mean, that was kind of fun. I like. Good video for a review or just opinions on Tome Adventure Design by Matt Finch. Matter of fact, I have that right over. Where is it? Where you be, Matt? Where's your damn tome? It's over here somewhere. That's a problem when you got so much shit, right? I'm sorry, you probably came to hear me. You got so much shit, you don't even know where the hell it is. There it is. I got the latest version of it here. And there it is. I got the latest version here. And my brother has my old one, because I had the original one too. Doom has entered the chat. Yeah, it's a good book. It's a good book. I don't do random tables in my generation of things. The most I might do is like, I need more detail for what could be in a room that's a lab for a wizard, and I'll look at the list of all the shit, phylactery, vial, blah blah, and I'll say, I'll steal some of those. So I don't like to do random. I think everything has to make sense, as you probably garnered from a lot of my videos. They must make sense. Where the orcs take a shit, right? Yeah. It's pretty good though. Doom has entered the chat. Doom, doom, doom. We need like a sound effect for when, what was it, like the Conan thing? Doom, doom, doom. Whenever Flint enters, we gotta have like a sound, doom, echoing off. I used to have a lot of those sound effects over on Restream, but they raised their prices and didn't even use any lube before they fucking told you what the price is gonna be. So I ended that relationship, but I deleted all my freaking sound effects. So I don't even know where the hell I have to download a shit ton of them, like a Windows breaking, things like that. You know what I mean? Yeah. So I'll have to find them and put them up on here because I can do things like put sounds. God, what is this? AI generated chill music. What is this? You guys hear that? Chill hop, lo-fi, R&B. Here's R&B. It's like generic freaking AI generated music or something. But I'm going to upload my own. Have, more fun like that. So, anywho, so like I said, this. I was kind of shocked at how much I cloned the style, format, and everything about my second edition campaign. So it was kind of cool just using this in the back of my head. It so affected me in such a way, that I was like, wow, man, that was pretty fucking neat. So let's get into it though. Red-Handed Doom. I go through my adventure, my outline here as to my review. All right, so the history of it came out in, what the hell year is it? 06, I believe. 06, first printing, February 06. And so it was 3.5, firmly in the 3.5 era, right? And it shows. I mean, there's so much shit in here. Every time I read something about grappling, I was like, oh, fuck me. So I remember even 3.0 grappling was a bitch and a half, and I think 3.5 didn't help fix it at all in any way. So I was like, oh, Jesus, goddamn, fuck me. Grappling's a pain in the ass. But yeah. So I got into that. Like I said, third edition, 3.5. It was too complicated, and we stuck. It just why buy more books, right? So when you have the PDF fairy depositing things, So author of these books, Richard Baker and James Jacobs, as seen down below there. All right, so let's see. We got the credits page. I shall read to you. Actually, I can just show it to you, right? Let me share my screen here, guys, because I got this shizzle pulled up. All right, hold on. How does one share screen? I'm still trying to get the particularities of this bullshit. There we go. Boom. All right, now I can move myself, I do believe, to a different section. Customize. I'm going to put myself over here. Good. Excellent. And if let's see, there we go. Shit, I just highlighted the whole goddamn thing. There we go. So we're good. You guys can see that, right? I think that's a good view there. Okay, we're back here. So the credits we were looking at here. All right. So Richard Baker, James Jacobs, designers, Andy Collins. I don't know who these people are except Kim Mohan. Kim was an old school person. Let's see. Christopher Perkins. I guess he's still around, right? Art director Karen Jacques. And one thing I didn't know, what the hell is an image technician? What the hell does that even mean? Travis Adams. What is an image technician? I have no goddamn clue. Let me do what I always fail to do before the show and make my damn mouse cursor bigger. There's a little things I got to do for prep, but I always fucking forget because I'm a retard. What are you going to do? All right. So now we have a big old mouse cursor here for y'all so you can see where I'm pointing a little bit better. Okay. All right. So I don't know what the hell an image technician is. Well, freaking clue. What I noticed on this though is I'm looking through it, based on the original D&D, blah blah blah, and then the new D&D game designed by Jonathan Tweet, Monty Cook, Skip Williams, Richard Baker, and Peter Atkinson. So Peter Atkinson, he took credit for it. He's the one who bought, created Magic the Gathering and bought Wizards of the Coast. So he just slapped his name on it. I don't know what the hell he did. I'll be curious to know what the hell he did, in terms of his contribution to it here. But that's just interesting. Sounds like cheap porno music. Yeah, it does. I know. It's the best kind of porno music. I think our camera's off, Joe. We can see your ceiling now. You can't see me? Can you see me in the side? Am I not showing up? Let me see. It looks like I'm showing up to everybody else. Yeah. It's showing. It's showing on Rumble, and it's showing on. Yeah. You should be able to see me. You should be able to see me, guys. Yeah. Let me know if you can't. Okay. Let's see. Andy Collins. Yeah, his name has been around forever too. All right. So anyway, back to it here. All right. So that's the credits, the cover art, and the back cover write-up. Cover art's good. All right. As you can see here, I thought it was pretty damn good. It's. Let me show you. What am I holding it up for like an idiot on a tiny screen? I'll just show you the big ass cover on my computer. All right, little fight here. We got, I don't know what the hell that is. It's a hobgoblin. I'm not a fan of the weaponry and shit and the armor in this era. You can see they're devolving from normal looking things into fantastical, like fourth edition looking things, but whatever. Some of it looks okay. I guess those are supposed to be hobgoblins. They're like apes, ape people. Who the hell knows? But the back cover, okay. So, oh, it really is that's right. Because I have this is the version with the web enhancements. So we got to zip up past the web enhancements. You guys would actually see the back cover. All right, who could stand against the son of the dragon? All right, so you got a great little catch here. It's funny because they say from 6 to 12 level, but actually, if you look at in the book, they talk about 5th to 12 or something like that. So a little glitch there, but yeah, it's a good hook. They talk about what you're going to be doing, where you're going to be fighting, and yeah, I think it's a good book and a good hook. Okay, so nice back cover. All right. The maps are fantastic. The art's pretty good, but the maps are by Mike Schley, right? So they were fantastic. And if you could buy the maps themselves as a separate package. So these are some of the maps that he did, just so you could see the quality. And he has a player version. This must be 2006. A lot of people weren't doing VTTs, but they gave a version for like the VTT. So here you have a map of the Marauder attack, and then like her Durelkin's Ferry, and then no numbers on it, right? So that's the PC version. You could show them on the screen. Same thing with the Witch, with the Causeway. They're taking out the numbers and stuff, So that was kind of cool. It must be one of the earliest versions where they did this sort of thing. But anything with Mike Schley is a fantastic damn map, honestly. You can't go wrong with any of his stuff. I bought several off his personal website for various things that are just excellent, I think I bought the Forgotten Realms, the massive mega map at the highest quality, so I can mess with it, and then still took pieces of it and still have it nice and high quality. So the maps are good, the art's pretty good, the editing is fine. The one editing mistake I think I read about and heard about was that some of the dimensions that they use in terms of like the book will say, so you travel 40 miles between this point and that point, but the map it shows it's only 20 miles. So somebody didn't do their double checking in there, So the Ronald became a member. Level OSR Grognard, much appreciated. The Ronald, much appreciated. I think I'm up to 11 members now. When I get to 50 members on any level, I mean, if 50 99-cent members or 50 $25 members, whatever it is, then I'm going to start doing a once a month private live stream just for you members. It'll be like on a Sunday afternoon or something like that. Then we could all sit back and just talk, So it's just members only. Ooh, I remember those jackets. God, just dated myself. The members only jacket, remember? But yeah, so once I get to 50 members, I'm going to do a members only stream. So if you guys want to join in, you'll get into those member only streams. The sooner that we get more members, the better. We can start those streams up on a once a month basis. So yeah. So that'd be fun. But thank you for joining, man. Anybody else wants to join, click the link there to join the channel. So anyway, back to the maps. They're fantastic, and the only glitches they saw in editing were like the miles and stuff. Other than that, it was pretty damn good. Actually. So let's see here. Boom. Let me close this out. All right, back to it. So the font is good. It's good enough for old eyes. I had to wear glasses because I'm old, right? But one thing I noticed, because what I did was I printed this thing up because I didn't want to write in my copy. I didn't want to do that. Right. I didn't want to write in it because I didn't want to wreck it. So I printed it up and I put it in a 3-ring binder. And when you print it up, some of the colors in here, they're too, like, this will come out pretty good. But the first page of a new chapter, you're going to see it's darker in tint. And let me show you what I mean. It just so comes out so shitty. Like you can see the difference here. Right. See the brownish here. You try to print that out, you can't read a goddamn thing. So, I'm obviously weren't thinking PDFs and people stealing it and printing it out, but a little help, just don't go fucking dark. Usefulness for the maps are great. The clarity of maps are great, and the VTT applicability are fantastic. As I said, production quality of the book really good. Hasn't fallen apart. And it's like 15 years old or more. I don't know. So it hasn't fallen apart. Glossy pages. I don't like glossy. But I think that's the standard. What are you going to do? So the organization of the book is great. I think this is one of the best organized books I've ever seen. And honestly, as I'm reading through it, it's perfect. Like in such a way that I will be making, when I publish all my modules and adventures, I am just going to copy this style of format. It's in depth, it's complex, it has shit in here that you've never seen before. You'll have designer notes from the designers of the book, talk about, hey, here's what you might want to do there. You have like little bits down here talking about what happens if, right at the bottom of the screen. It's just fantastic. All right, so let's see. I'll show you over here what they're talking about. So without getting into the too many spoilers here, so yeah, this is the dark page, right? And then you get the white, right? So you'll have, we got a timeline. Yeah, I'll get into all that in a bit later. But down here, you got the little bits for the DM, little notes for the DM. And then you'll have like little advice sections too. Like this, designer notes. And it's by the two writers talking about like GM to GM. Here's what we would do. Here's how you might want to play it. Things like that. Fantastic. All right. I'm stealing all of this. I'm just stealing the entire format for everything I ever write. Excellent. No handouts. But what they did have in the back was you would tear out the little tear section there. You would tear out some maps. It's not every map of everything you're going to be doing, but let me show you what the tear out is. I'll stop sharing this thing so you can see me. It's a two-sided map. Two-sided. And just a couple of encounters. One is the very first encounter. So it's this one here. All right. Let's see. Yeah. So one here, I'm screwed up. One is, I think, part of the final fight. The Fane itself is right here. And then there is a much larger one right here. It's a full page one, which is nice. So you can see the whole damn thing. And that's nice. They don't have everyone in the handout, but you can buy the maps as a separate PDF, like I showed you there. Ooh, I just knocked my microphone. Sorry. All right. So yeah, so it's pretty cool. It's pretty damn cool. Let's see. Where are we at in the outline here? This is the spoiler-free part, guys, by the way. So what I'm doing now is just spoiler-free stuff. And I'm going to get into the spoilers in a bit. I'll let you know. All right. All right. So handouts, like I said, no handouts. Does the writing suck you in? Yes. It's descriptive and it does set an atmosphere. They have, they don't have box text. They have like sort of italicized texts. I'll show you what I mean here. There's their designer note. Where is some italicized text? There it is. So it's a slightly different color, italicized, right? So, and it's good. It really gets into gives you a good description of what's going on. And not only that, excuse me, they give so much background on a lot of stuff, the history of the place, where everything came from, why it is the way it is, and that leads into the motivations of some of the bad guys, which is excellent. And it also leads into some of the knowledge they may or may not have. More excellence. All right. So I thoroughly enjoyed that. I think the horror and suspense, not so much. Tension, yes, because what you're dealing with here is a timeline. There's an invasion, and the invasion will happen in X days, and you as the PCs can't do a goddamn thing to stop it. You can only do things to hinder it, hurt it, and score victory points in order to help win the day at the end. All right. So all the stuff you're doing is making alliances, breaking their alliances, skirmishing, fighting, destroying things, to delay them, harass them. And then at the end of the day, the big fight will happen. You can't stop that. And then you do skirmishes in the fight and then you win or you lose, one or the other. Right. So that's kind of cool. Is it there's a sense of the fantastic? Not so much. It's just it's a war. It's a military. Nothing real fantastic about that. There's nothing magical or wondrous or anything like that. Is it a derivative or something the average GM could create on his or her own in a few hours? Hell no. You can't create this. This is a big damn thing. It's 128 pages long. All right. So there's a lot to it. Balance and pacing. Does it feel rushed? Does it go at a good pace? There's tension in the timeline, so that makes it doesn't feel rushed though. But the PCs are always going to feel like I gotta get this done, which is fantastic. You need a timer for PCs sometimes. You need a little balance there too. You need a little bit of downtime, but this thing gives you no downtime because there's day one when it starts and day X, I forget the number, 42 days later or something, the invasion hits, and you can maybe slow it down by some actions, but there will be an invasion. So yeah, so there's definitely tension on that front. Let's see. Is there a balance between combat, role playing, and exploration with gaps? Yeah. There's a lot of combat as fits, the 3.5 era, but you do have opportunities to role play. There's some more ambiguous things. You got to talk to a lich. We'll get into the lich bullshit in a bit, but you could there's definitely opportunities for role playing. All the people in the towns you got to talk to and deal with. So yeah, here's to the White Russian. Mm-hmm. All right. Let's see. Length and structure. How long it's going to take? Long time. I mean, I'm at least, I would say 15 sessions before this is over. 15 to 20 sessions. So you got a good, probably 6-month campaign here, assuming most people meet once a week, and you maybe skip a week here or there or something like that. You got a good 5 or 6 month, adventure setup here. I think that's fantastic. All right. Is there obvious breakpoints for multiple sessions? Yeah. I mean, there's 5 chapters, right? There's 5 distinct sections. And within each section, there are things that the PCs need to do or go here or over there. So, yeah, I think it's good. You could definitely go through it, especially back in the day. 3.5 had a lot of long time. The encounters took forever, the combat, because it was the nature of the beast. But, yeah, there's a lot you could do with that. Okay. All right. Let's see here. So, replayability and scalability. Can you replay it or reskin it? Yeah, you definitely can, because things could turn out differently. You could reskin it, and actually it talks about, because this is set in a generic place that you could just drop into any of the established settings that Wizards of the Coast has out. They talk about where to, they even had suggestions as to where to put it: Greyhawk, Eberron, all those places, right? So I think that's pretty cool. Can you make it work for various size groups of PCs or a mixture of classes? Yeah, you're going to want your classic 4, right? The fighter, the healer, the thief, and the wizard. But yeah, you could have a mix. I think so. You just scale up the encounter, the number of people, or scale it back. So yeah, the GM and player skill level. You need to have a good GM to do this, because the hardest part about this, from the GM's perspective, from what I could see, is you need to fucking read it, and then you need to read it again. And then before you play, you need to read it again. You need to have this whole thing in your head, because there's like moving pieces, and some of the pieces at the beginning, and some of they affect some of the shit at the end, right? So you got to sort of keep in mind that what they're doing, how it might affect stuff in the middle of the end, and all that, right? So you definitely need to have the bigger scope. This is not a module or an adventure that you go to Walden Books, dated myself, and you just buy it for $6.99 and you take it home, and the DM could read it for a half an hour, skim it for a half an hour, and then play. It's not that. It's not just a bunch of rooms and box text and counter and kick a door, kill the thing, take their stuff, lather, rinse, repeat. It's not that kind of an adventure. So yeah, you definitely need to read this, review it, understand it, know it, and know how it all fits together. And I haven't run this thing in about 10 years. And when I was reading it, I was surprised how much I forgot in terms of the minute details. But like I said before, the structure of it stuck in my brain so much. I loved it so much that it just stuck in there. So that was kind of cool. As in terms of player skill level, some of the encounters are harder than others. You need a good group to survive them, I think, no matter what edition you're using it under, because you could definitely use this on any damn edition. Any old school GM worth the salt is going to be able to just reskin this for old school, new school, whatever school. And from what I heard, there's 5th edition conversions online right now. So you could definitely, find a conversion, play this under 5e. I think this is the greatest module that Wizards of the Coast put out under 3rd or 3.5, maybe period. Yeah. You know what? I'm going to go out there on a limb and say this is the greatest module Wizards of the Coast, not TSR, Wizards of the Coast has ever put out. And I have all the 5th edition shit. I've never bought any 4th edition adventures, because 4th edition is like a living abortion. So fuck 4th edition. But in terms of modules that have ever been put out by Wizards of the Coast, this is the winner. It's the best one ever. TSR had some doozies, some good ones. I'm not going to even go back and compare them, because different everything. It's like apples to oranges almost, right? Eras and time frames. And this is a very modern module. But yeah, I think it's the best one ever put out by Wizards. I still stands 20 years later, almost, right? 06 to 25. So 19 years later, stands the test of time. Anybody could use it for any system. Okay. In terms of GM support, tons of it. I mean, those GM notes are priceless. The detailed backgrounds and how they interact with everything, and how you could draw upon it for depth and immersion and role play situations is fantastic. All the different stuff they talk about at the bottom, they show at the bottom, the aftermath and what happens if, fantastic. Great. And guidance, they give tons of guidance on how to improvise and run it. They give you tools and tables and stuff to use. Yeah. Random encounter tables, everything. It's great. Does it work for VTT or online play? How compatible, ease of conversion? It shouldn't be a problem at all. It should not be a problem. I showed you the maps there. So yeah, that's not a big deal at all. So overall, I'm very, very happy with this thing, and I might just use this my first time I play test my own system. It's going to be the old school guys live here. I'm going to I think I might use this. I'll reskin it for my system, or I'll just write something in the same vein. That way I can maybe publish the fucker, right? But it'll be something like this. I guarantee it'll be something like this. All right. So let's see. What are you guys talking about here? Back to cheap porno music. Heard a handful of AI songs and they've been bangers. I heard there was one AI thing that put out a song, like somebody said, put out a song in the style of so-and-so. And it was a better song than so-and-so put out. So, I think it was a rap song. So you really can't do worse than, rap. Anyway, I think your camera's off, Joe. We see your ceiling now. I'm not sure what you're talking about there. Andy Collins is old school. Reddit has player handouts, additional maps. I also recall that James Colville has a video or two on it. Who? James Colville? Me, Matt Colville? I don't know who that is. All right, Obsidian Portal, cool. All right, random side. Giants of Plague are still actively publishing the comic. No shit. I haven't thought about it in years, but I just looked it up. Yeah, that was fantastic. I used to read that religiously every week back in the early 2000s. It was a great thing. And I remember when third edition came out, I think it was the Barbarian. He got nerfed. Something of his got nerfed. And the little bald Barbarian or something like that. And his sword went from, because he was a halfling or something, and he went from a normal size to like a half size sword doing less damage. And he's like, son of a bitch. Yeah, it was pretty cool. Showzama 85. First time I made it to a live one. Half the time running or playing D&D either Saturday or Sunday. Yeah, that's what I figure. A lot of people can't make it. But right now we got 19 people on YouTube, none on Facebook, and let's see what we got rocking on Rumble. We got 5 people on Rumble, so good. Thank you all for watching. All right, cool. Let's see. I hope Joe has given you some tips. I hope so. And then there's the OSR new member. Nice. Thank you. Love your format. Thanks for what you do. Thank you there, Ronald. Much appreciated, man. I keep it bare bones. I think that there's a guy, Robert Meyer Burnett. He has the Burnett work. If you do it on YouTube, you'll find him. I actually did a show of his a few years ago. I was live because I'd seen a movie he'd produced and did a lot of editing on. And I went to go see it. And just after the Beer Bug was over in the Brooklyn Film Festival, and I said, hey, I'm down here, man. If you want, I'll get on live and 1 a.m. or whatever you do your show. And because he's in California, I could talk about it. And so we did. He's like, yeah, sure, cool. Yeah. And I showed some pictures and this and that. But he's a cool dude. But anyway, long story short, he came up with this idea, this theory that authenticism is going to be the being how authentic you are is going to be the coin of the realm going forward. All these highly polished, super edited, sophisticated looking, it looks like, a high-end TV production people, that's going to go by the wayside, and people are just going to go, it's like a new era, new age. He said this a couple of years ago, and it was repeated by Critical Drinker on the Russell Brand show. So it got like wide exposure. And I agree. I think being authentic and being your true self is the best way to go on YouTube. There's no frills here. This is my room. This isn't a background. This is my fucking room, right? This is it. And over here I got the desk. I got my little. We got a little desk over there I use to draw shit on. Here, let's see here. I have to go like this, right? Yeah, little desk there. My windows. There's all my books. There's my door. My little sword, lightsaber, the printer. Yeah, this is my room. This is it. There's no frills here. You're in my second bedroom. I think it matters because I'm being genuine, being yourself, and not being phony. I think that's going to go a long way. I really think so. Okay, so I was disappointed when this one was running later today. Sorry. Well, good night. Whoever's leaving, good night. I'm not close to his age. It's not necessarily tips, but another take on a shared TTRPG history. The ticking clock and the victory point system, I agree, was fantastic. I absolutely agree. Sounds like they use a lot of the material from Heroes of Battle. I think so too. That was one of the few supplements that they put out that was great. I have that. I printed because back in the day, I'd had the PDF and managed to be found on my computer hard drive in some way, and ended up in a 3-ring binder. It's over on the shelf there. Yeah, none of the 5e modules come close. You can definitely see the skill atrophy. Wizards of the Coast has suffered. I agree. That's a good point, Raptor 7. That's a good damn point. That's a good damn point. The skill atrophy has suffered in the last 20 years. Yeah. The analogy man cave. Yeah, no, I totally agree with that. All right, so tell you what, guys, I do my videos the same way. No fancy backgrounds or written scripts. Sometimes I'll write notes. And but I'm gonna I got a little notebook here. I'm gonna talk about some things, and I scribbled stuff in the printout, my 3-ring binder version here, and highlighted some things. But yeah, but if I'm gonna do my DM review, that's necessarily 80% scripted, because what I'm doing is reading what I wrote and riffing off of some of it. So that's pretty much what I'll do there. Okay, so yeah, no, it's really good. It's really good. So anyway, so that's the sort of the intro. Spoilers are coming up, guys. Let me run. God damn, I still have to make a video over Joe is taking a leak video. So I'm going to go take a leak. I'll be right back, and then we'll get into the actual overview here. Okay, give me 30 seconds. Actually, 22. I heard that all mammals piss in 22 seconds long. So give me a few seconds back and forth. I'll be back in like 45 seconds. Be back. Well, I guess you do see the Big Lebowski there on the toilet. So maybe that's what I'll use, just the Big Lebowski. Insert waterfall sounds. Yeah, drip, drip, drip. Maybe like a flushing sound, a repeating whoosh, flushing of the toilet. The first TV show to ever have that on, like the flushing of a toilet, was Archie Bunker, All in the Family. Back in the day, I remember it was like, oh my God, radical revolutionary 1973 to have a toilet flush. And where's Archie? Here from up above, and he's coming down, buckling his pants. It was insane, So yeah. Every elevator music needs to play now. Yeah. That was like a nasty cough. You know what it is? It's not a nasty cough. It's the goddamn drink, because it's the milk in it, the half and half that I have in there, gives that phlegmy thing, Yeah. Mm-hmm. Cheers to y'all. Yeah, they never saw a cow piss or Frank Drebin. But the thing is, from what I understand, all mammals piss at 22 seconds. No matter how big their bladder is or whatever, how big the animal is, takes 22 seconds for a mammal to piss, which is kind of weird, right? So yeah, it's interesting. It's just interesting. All right, so let's get back to sharing this screen. I will share with y'all. You take a look here. Red-handed doom. All right, looking good. Now I'll go sort of. Let me hit my notes. My little notebook here. These are like big notes, overview kind of things, and then I'll get into the details of the adventure itself. Okay. All right. So, let's see. I talked about the whole how I copied my campaign off of it. I like that you can't stop certain things from happening, like the war, right? The war is happening. The players, they're heroes, but they can't be the ultimate. I've stopped an entire army hero. They can fuck with it. They can hurt it. They can make them go slower, right? But they can't stop the army, which I really do appreciate that. I think that's fantastic. So not everybody always wins, right? I talked about there's lots of reading and prep needed. Let's see, there is. I talk about how this is the perfect example of a module or adventure design. I'm going to use every damn one of them. I like the fact that they had fixed encounters, and they also had some random encounters too. Another thing about this is that it reminded me of Dragonlance a lot. I think mainly because you had almost like Dragon High Lords. Remember those things? There was like Dragon High Lords, and the lowest level one they fought in the Chronicles book, or in the first couple adventures, Toad or Toady, or whatever his name was, and he was the one who took over that little town in the first starting town. And they had to fight him and kill him or something like that. Or and then he became a Dragon High Lord later. Like there's levels of High Lords, and they're all associated with dragons in some way. I guess it just reminded me a lot of Dragonlance in the structure. Plus, there's a war and all that kind of stuff, right? So it really did remind me of Dragonlance, and in a good way, not in a bad way. Now, I showed you before the italicized text in different fonts. I go back and forth. I was thinking about this as I was reading it. Do I like the box text, the old school box text, versus the italicized, different colored font, sort of indented a little bit on either side? And I still go back to the box text. I think I'm going for box text here. I like that better. I think it stands out better and makes it more official looking. I don't know. Maybe I'm just old and I like that because it's what I'm used to. Who knows? Yeah. I like how there's, oh my God, there's every single fight that they have set up here. There's tactics laid out in great detail. First round will do this. If this happens, I might do that. This guy will do this. The different combatants, what each one of them is going to do tactically, fantastic. I thought that was amazing. Well done. And there is, like I said, there's the map enhancement. All right, you could buy all the different maps or find. And then there's at the end, there's another web enhancement, right? So you get to the end of the module here, and then you could buy the web enhancement. Now, what this does is it organizes the monsters differently. All right. So if you look up here, the monsters in the appendix are organized in a very good way, I thought. It was organized by group, by type of things, special minions, dragons, so the dragon section, the worm lords, they were all grouped together by the type. The army members, the rank and file horde members. Let's see. What was this one? So the Ghost Lord's minions. So they were organized by type and by grouping. But when you get down into the supplement part, they take the same stats of the same people and they organize them by encounter. All right. So the Marauder attack encounter. Here's everybody. So you're not looking for and they might duplicate. You might see the Hobgoblin warriors again in multiple places. It doesn't matter because this is a far superior organization structure, I think, because one page, you have all the things that you need in one single page there. Okay, so that's fantastic. That's fantastic for each type of encounter. The Warg stables, boom, that's what you're going to be fighting in there. You got the barracks, the Wormlord's quarters, that's what you're going to be fighting there. So this is well done. I think it's well done, and I like both layouts. I got to say, I would say you have to do both. Have a supplement with the layout by encounter. Have a supplement, in the back of the appendix with the layout by type. That way you could, mess with it any way you want. But it was well done. It was definitely well done. All right. So yeah, that was good. So that's pretty much all the random notes that I was writing down while I was doing that. So now we'll get into the actual adventure itself. What the hell is this thing? Okay. And maybe the best way to sort of describe it is to use a lot of their own words. There is. Here is a simple outline. Okay, so what's going on here is there's an army led by a priest of Tiamat, I guess, and they are a lot of hobgoblins, some goblins. They're setting up alliances, allies, orcs, wargs, I think, are in there too, and they are marching across the lands, and hopefully, for Tiamat's benefit or whatever. And so it's broken into multiple parts. Okay, so the first part is you confront a powerful war band of raiders threatening a small town of Drellin's Ferry, and that's where you find out that this is the tip of the spear, just a little bit of what's coming. There's a huge army, and they're fanatical war priests at Tiamat, and they even tell you here as a DM, the Drellin's Ferry, that first little starting town, can't be saved, but you might be able to give them time to flee by wrecking a bridge. Okay, so you encounter stuff, you find out what's going on, boom, and then by the end of this part, the war has begun. Okay, so then you got to try to fight them and stem the advance. All right. Next, the second part of it is the Ruins of Rest. This is where you need to figure out what in the hell is going on. You might be able to make an alliance with some wild elves, and you might be able to kill a dragon and a dragon high lord. And then you understand at the end of that, you find the phylactery of a druid lich, which is fucking retarded. Druids don't become lich. And I don't agree with priests becoming liches. The only thing that should become a lich in my eyes is a wizard or a magic user. That's it. I don't get that the whole the big bad guy at the end of the last module or adventure I did the review on was Janelle Jaquays' Dark Tower. I don't agree that was a cleric lich. I would have made it a wizard lich, because liches in my head, built into me from the beginning, are always wizards. And why would a druid become a lich and become an anti-druid, essentially? The undead. There's nothing worse than that. The third part is the Ghost Lord's Tower. That's the druid lich, where you got to negotiate. Hey, I got this phylactery. If you don't ally with the bad guys, I'll give you back your phylactery. You got to get there first. That's the hard part. The thorn waste is like terrible. And it's the druid is desecrated the place. The anti-druid has desecrated the place. I don't, and this is the smallest thing. Part 3 is the smallest section of this that I think you'll see in there, and it could be fleshed out more. I think that they probably chopped it, because the other sections are fleshed out in much greater detail. But I think what they do is they chopped it down to make it fit in 128 pages. It's the only thing I could think of. They needed this, make it smaller. Part 4 is the big fucking fight. It's the battle at Brindle, and you have to do as PCs. They handle this well, because you never want the PCs to be involved in a unit. You want the PCs to be, they're powerful enough to should be out there taking the big threats. They should be skirmishers and ambushers, and a group of 8 giants are hitting the walls here with boulders. Take them out. Right, that's what they should be doing. They shouldn't be in the front lines with level 0 men at arms slugging it out with goblins. That's a useless waste of their time. And besides, who wants to run that? I don't want to run battle system type games. I don't like that. This is D&D. I'd rather have them play a part in a different way. I think that makes more sense. And after the big fight there, the city either lives or dies based on this victory point system that they developed. And then if they live, you got to go to the Fane of Tiamat to deal with the man or the hobgoblin behind it all. And if they die, the city gets evacuated. And guess what? You still get to go to the Fane of Tiamat, deal with the big bad guy behind it all. So that's just how they roll, I guess, yeah. So basically, you're going to Fane of Tiamat anyway. It's a bit of an anticlimactic ending, but because the big battle is really it, that's like, oh yeah, that's badass. But then you get to fight a dungeon crawl and fight some dragons and kill the dude or some devils up there too. So yeah, and they give you some hooks. All right, how to get into it. Let me get rid of the book here. Some hooks on how to get into it, which I thought were pretty good. Ones that made sense. They default to the Vault of Wrath keep here, but whatever you want to do, and you can make up your own too. Because once you fit into your world, you got to find your own, right? So yeah, that's fine. That's fine. All right, so. Let's see, running the adventure. This is fantastic. What they did here, and what I'm gonna do, guys, is since there's 5 sections, 128 pages, I'm gonna point out all the good stuff through the first section, because they have examples of everything good in this, everything bad in this in the very first section. They have them in every section, but I don't want to give an exhaustive detail of every single section. But I will point out good things in each of the sections. But I'm really going to focus in detail on the first section, because every example of everything that I love or don't like about it is there's an example of it in there. Okay, now the timeline is great. This is like the way I would do it in anything I would do. Things were going to happen. This is exactly how I look at my world. Remember, I've been in every video I talk about in terms of designing a world. The DM is the designer of what's going to happen. You're writing a story of the region, the world, the city, the town, the village, everything, right? That is your job. You're writing that. It's fiction. You write that. And then the PCs show up and they may fuck with it in some way. They may affect some of it. And that's exactly what this is. This timeline shows you this is what's going to happen if the PCs weren't there. On day 1, there's marauders near Drellin's Ferry, and on day 65, the Horde invades Brindle. That's going to happen. You might be able to delay it here and there, destroy the bridge 3 days, delayed it 1 day if you kill Wormlord Koth, delayed it 2 days if you get the Forest Giants to help, things like that. So they're showing you what could happen if you do the PCs do their job, and that gains them victory points too. But like I said, I love the fact that it's going to actually end up in the fight at Brindle. There's going to be a war, period. All right. They give great advice on how to play smart villains here. They talk about how essentially what's going to happen is that they are going to have intel about you, and they're going to know, oh, there's more people out there than we thought, and they're tougher than we thought. And so in the first encounters, they're not sure who you are, that you're above the average, adventurer, average encounter. So, they're going to be word sent back. At the mid-level, they're really understanding that you are, tough people. They're going to try to flank you in individual PCs, try to take you out one at a time. Then later encounters, God, here's where I cringed when they talk about grappling. Everybody's ever played 3rd edition 3.5 Pathfinder. If I say grapple and you're a DM, instantly your testicles just shrivel up and like pull back up inside of you, because Jesus Christ, grappling was the biggest pain in the balls ever to run through into DM, ever. It was such a ridiculous pain in the ass. But yeah, that's how it was. So the grappling, I just like, oh, Jesus. And we had one guy in our group who always wanted to grapple. He's a barbarian. He never raged, but he always wanted to grapple. And every time he's like, I'm going to grapple, I'm like, the whole table groaned. It's like, oh, here we go. It's going to take forever to figure out because we always have to relearn it. It's like goddamn calculus 3, Yeah. And so let's see. Oh, geez, I keep highlighting it. Highlights here. All right, so moving forward, like I said, I love that. Playing the villain smart is fantastic. Now, what I'm doing here is I'm looking at my notes, things I wrote down and scribbled and highlighted, and I'm looking back and forth to the screen so I could show you the same thing, Like I said here, this is a key feature of Red Hand of Doom was the inevitable clash of the Red Hand Horde with the forces of good. Unless something extraordinary happens in your game, the great clash will take place near the human town of Brindle around day 42 of the adventure. Yeah, that's it. I love it. I fucking love it. Let's see. They talk about treasure here, which is interesting because if you remember a 3-5 days, they called it the Christmas tree effect. Everybody had so many goddamn magic items. It was like you lit up like a Christmas tree if you detect magic on you. And you could just create magic items. Like you walk into an average village of 800 people and there's somebody there who could create a ring of whatever the hell for you. It's like, holy crap. It was insane. I played a few the Pathfinder Avengers and it was the same effect there. It was magic everywhere. Not like a low magic game. So I would not have all this kind of magic in it. But what they did talk about is rather than have them buying things and making things, you would just have like basically instead of saving up, you would just have the loot drop, which I think made a lot of sense. Just have the loot drop in a fight, and then you have it. Okay, so that made a lot of sense. Okay, so stat blocks. Good idea here that they have for stat blocks. We consider putting all the stat blocks right in each encounter, but we realize that in doing so would force us to repeat the same information a number of times. Yeah, exactly. So you're talking about the hobgoblins, 15 different times in the book, and 3rd edition stat blocks are no joke. I mean, there's a quarter of a page essentially. So, it's pretty damn big. So and on my stat blocks, by the way, guys, are going to be huge. They're going to be huge. So yeah, it's 2nd edition level stat blocks. So yeah, they're going to be big. So I'm going to do the same thing when I do mine. All the stat blocks are going to be at the end of the book or any of the adventure, and you're going to, go from there. I did like how the fact that every monster in here was from the monster manual. They didn't use MM2 or any of the other ones. It was straight up from the monster manual, which that was pretty good. And like I said, the Hand of Doom enemies and allies file, that's that web enhancement I was showing you there. Yeah, fantastic. Well done on that front. All right, so they go over the overview of the Vale, okay, which is great. So remember, you're talking about the Vale, right? This is a huge area. I mean, if that's about 300 miles probably across and a couple hundred miles up and down. So that's a big area there, and it's generic enough that you really could drop it anywhere. A little bit of every type of terrain you're looking at here. It makes sense, a good layout. It's just great. They give you an overview, the climate, the terrain, the weather, and the history of it. Now, the history, I thought was like, why did they give me the history of a fictional place? But it does lead into some of the other things. It does lead into, like, because of the history and that's why the bridge is not there because it fell, blah, blah, and that's why there's a ferry now. And it's like little things that do matter that you could bring out. Like, it doesn't matter for the players to know this shit if they're just looking at it as a hack and slash. But if you have players who are into the immersion factor, then yes, it definitely does matter, because they want to understand why they're doing certain things, where this place exists. I mean, this could be the situation. This is so well detailed. It could be the location of many future encounters and adventures for these PCs. So they would want to know the history of it, and you could tinker it, fine tune it, put it in your own setting or whatever. And then they get into the settlements part, right? So you got the major settlements, and they give you the standard statistics, the population mix, racial, and all that kind of stuff. Authority figures, important characters, and why they're important. Organizations, the House Guard, the Lions of Brindle, the militia, good stuff, in terms of stats and the crunch. Then they get into the fluff, place where folk of the Vale attempt their stand against the Red Horde, blah blah blah. And then they get into all the little places, around it, Doth and Denevar, little cities that are near it. All right, Denevar here, more of a breakdown. Drellin's Ferry is where you start. I got a kick out of this because my brother's character in the last campaign is Trask Thanya, and the self-styled Baron Hargle Trask, and the rest of the no-good Trask clan. So I had to take a picture of that, send it to him. Instead of no-good Trasks. Trasks are no good no matter where you are, no matter what setting or adventure. So you get into the cities here, right? The villages and the cities, and a little bit about each. You get details of the bigger ones, but other than that, you're not getting much detail of Prosser because it's a little village, right? And you get enough detail that the GM needs. You're not going to get every road or every store. Then the sites of interest. The sites of interests are generally geographical regions, like the Black Fens, the Witchwood, the Endless Plains, the Marth Forest, that sort of thing, right? And within the Black Fens is the tree Kittigar and Ham. These are the wild elves, all right? So that's the most generic, useless picture I've ever seen in a book. I mean, they paid like 19 cents for that fucking picture. Anyway. So you have all the various, the Marth Forest, every major geographical area and what it's all about and what they're dealing with. Okay. Let's see. Moving through it here. This is awesome. The cast of characters. These are the major characters in the adventure. It's not each character in each town. It's not an exhaustive list. This is the main characters of the entire adventure. Now, I love it. I love how they broke it out. They told you who they are and what their title is, I guess you could say. But I think what they could have should have done is have it in on one page, all separate. Like on one column, you would have their name, dress serial number, right? The next column, you would have where they show up and tips about how to role play them, personality, things like that. And the third column might be something like GM notes, where you could jot down little notes to yourself. They fought them here, they countered there, he escaped to there. Little things that you might want to remind yourself of as you go for these major characters. But I love the cast of characters part, even though it makes it seem like it's a book or something. I do love the cast of characters. Okay, and then the start of the adventure. This is that brown page that looks like shit when you print it up. I was telling you about. Got your little red box text down here, or non-box text, or red text, and then it starts out with a fight. So perfect. It's perfect. So you start with our adventure hook, the Vault of Wrath Keep. And you get down here into the Marauder attack. So you're walking to the town, and boom, you get jumped. And that's the very first map. And that shows you where each person is. And this is the Mike Schley maps, guys. Fantastic. Really well done. Really, really well done. So let's see here. Boom. I'm moving through my pages here. Now, so we look down here, the tactics session. Well done. This is just little shitheads, hobgoblins and hellhounds, whatever hell a Tsar is, Old Thar, and the second wave. So these are a bugbear, a hobgoblin blade bearer, a cleric, a blade bearer. Yeah, remember they had this third edition had so many goddamn books that each book came out with like a million, I don't know what you call them, subclasses or whatever the hell they were, but they were just so much detail about what these guys, there's like a blade singer, blade bearer. I mean, holy shit, it's insane. But anyway, the tactics section is great. All right, so the Marauders have no reason to suspect they're dealing with seasoned band of adventurers when a fight begins. So the two named people and the Hellhounds hang back in the initial attack, but once it becomes clear they've ambushed a band of capable adventurers, the cleric moves in, the blade bearer moves in rather, accompanied by the Hellhounds, and the Doomhand cleric uses a visibility spell, blesses the people, and uses a scroll of summon monster 3, and then it gets into it. And then they get into other more details here. If you win, you get the treasure, and you see other people they've killed today. That's kind of mid art. I guess that's not like my teenage nephews and nieces when I say mid, but yeah. So anyway, you got one big fight. You roll on into town here. Okay. Now this is awesome. These developments. It's sort of like what if is what I call these developments thing. Okay. So if the PCs capture one or more marauders, providing them with an opportunity to interrogate them, they would die before divulging. A bunch of charmed person might get something out of them. Here's what you might be able to learn. All right. So you're getting some, it's not a rumors table, but it's what you might be able to learn, and how to get them to talk. So that's good. This is usually what happens if. That's the what if sections. I love them. So again, you're hitting Drellin's Ferry. You get more detail on the population. 1,100, the mixture of it, important people in the town guard, militia, and then you get the key sites, little map. And again, the maps for Drellin's Ferry, some with the number, some without. So you can show this to the PCs on if you want to. All right, so excellent map there. A little detail. No price lists, unfortunately, for the general store, but you can buy whatever the hell you want there. There's nothing new. The only time you need a price list is if I think you're selling something unique that's not in the player's handbook. Honestly, that's where you would want a price book. I think a price list rather. Okay, so they get into all the various important NPCs too. So you got I look like the people, places, and things. So the people and the places are detailed out here. The people, they talk about, for example, Delora Zan, once a member of the famed Golden Drake Company, a band of renowned adventurers. Delora, chaotic good female, blah, 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 retired to Drellin's Ferry some years ago, plain speaking, no nonsense sort of woman, tips on how to role play there, tall and broad shoulders, good for description purposes, blonde hair, pulled back in a single braid, who are their friends and who are their allies, and, what is her common sense and keenly observant. Perfect. All right. The town priest is Brother Durney, a stout old man, pompous and preachy, long-winded, but he's good and charitable, who goes out of his way to help less fortunate folk. That's all you need. That's all you need for a description. All right. So here we got a chaotic, evil person, a dark-haired southerner, blah, 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 bought out the owner of the previous store, responsible for a handful of unsolved murders that have plagued the town for years, well connected amongst the various brigand gangs that plague the lonely places along the Dawn Way, known as Lady Dagger amongst them, running a store in Drellin's Ferry allows her to spy out the movements of traders using the road and pass word to brigands preying upon them. Jarrett views the approach of the Red Hand Sword as an opportunity to pillage and murder to her heart's content and make her escape in the confusion. Awesome. Fucking awesome. Yeah. Okay, so let's see what you guys are talking about. Cal Piss, back to that. Great adventure. Yes, Doom Money. The info on the NPCs is right in the Goldilocks zone. What do you mean? I'm not sure what you mean. Goldilocks would imply that they're like wusses and, all Pollyanna types, but, this assassin rogue cleric of, I don't know, probably a death god or something like that. That's not really Goldilocks-ish. So, yeah. Well, you know what I could do here, too? I think I have. Hey, there you go. A little thing at the bottom there for you guys to look at. My little ticker. All right. So, anywho, let's see here. So, again, moving through, we have important people. I got into that. So, I thought that was interesting is that there is an encounter for riding into town, an encounter level 2. This is EL2 is like CRs for 3.5 and 3.0, right? So it's interesting. The time they have the same standard format for each encounter, and this is the pre-planned, encounters. So the timeline, when does it happen? When they reach town, day 1, late in the day. All right. The light situation, they really, I don't know why they have the light situation in every single friggin' encounter. It's interesting. And the creatures, how many people are 4 humans? All right. So then you get into the whole, the box text part here. Halt, who are you? And then the combat, they're not going to try to fight. Who's a sergeant? You got the name, you got the militia, you got the interaction. Now, this is another fantastic example of what I'm going to have in all mine. I love this, right? So you got Hursk, right? Sergeant Hursk. and then you say like the back and forth of a conversation. And this helps the GM tremendously because it gives you things to riff off of. It's not exhaustive, but if you're going to talk to the sergeant at the gate and you talk about whatever the hell happens, he will give you answers that you might want to do and might want to figure out. So if he says, what he asks the questions of you, blah blah blah, we don't have anything to tell you, not to be rude, to warn you manners and stay out of trouble while you're in Drellin's Ferry. Pelor knows we've been through enough without thugs and ill-mannered louts starting some more. All right, so if you tell them you're going to explore an old castle, suit yourself. We just fought a bunch of hobgoblins. Indeed, where? Bands of those murderous savages have been skulking near the town for days now. You're lucky you came through it. Where can we stay? The Old Bridge Inn. Perfect. Can we help you with your troubles? I won't deny that we're in a hard spot. You look at capable sorts, go over to the old toll house. That's the big stone building, and ask for Captain Serrana. Boom. Okay. And you can throw out the Serrana thing too. I would say, you might say, oh, hobgoblins. You might want to talk to Serrana. Let them know. So ad hoc XP. Again, you would overcome as if you would overcome a CR2 encounter. There was a table, if I remember correctly, in 3rd edition where you had the level of the group and the CR, and if you beat it, you got a certain XP. All right, so here we go. Then we're into an hour or two into the town. There's another encounter. The town speaker, like the mayor, okay? They come in and start talking to you about, hey, we need help here. Can you help us? And what does it pay? And again, with the box, a combination of box text and also question-answer responses. All right, fantastic, great combo. I think everything should have this. Now here we go. Another more little DM advice thing down here. What if the party is bizarre? What if you're a bunch of fucking weirdos? If you're a bunch of monsters or players are unduly hostile, then he'll tell you what to do. I mean, go to Captain Sonara, stay put. More guards come and might admit them to the town as long as you don't cause trouble. Things like that, right? So I love this stuff. These little advice sections are invaluable for a DM, especially in an adventure this size, because 128 pages. If you didn't write it, Jesus Christ, you're not going to be able to memorize every single detail. But all these things help you run it. I think that's great. It's just fantastic. All right, so I got all the talk here, and the whole goal is go find out what the hell's going on, and they send you out into the Witchwood. Okay, and there's your map of the Witchwood, and at one point she tells you, hey, if your encounter goes well with them, they say you might want to talk to seek out Jor. You can find someone who knows the woods. You can't find someone who knows the woods better. This cabin is out of the way, but it might be worth the while. Take the old witch trail, hang a left, blah blah blah. And you'll talk to him, and he's a reclusive woodsman, and so he's an encounter. All right, so the Dawn Way, the witch trail, and then you're at Jor's cabin, and you have a chance to actually recruit him as a sort of a guide. And again, with the questions and answers. Now, each time you're going out from the town, each chapter, each part of this story, I guess you could say, has a new location that you're going to explore geographically. So this is the Witchwood. All right, let me zip up here to the Witchwood section. So you're starting down here at Drellin's Ferry. You're hauling out in here into the Witchwood. At some point, you go into the Wormsmoke Mountains. You go into all the various places, the Ghost Lord's Lair and the Thorn Waste. The Black Fens, you're up there at some point too, but this is the Witchwood. And so the Witchwood has its own random encounter area charts. All right, so it tells you how often to run, how often to roll for an encounter, depending on what they're hiding, camping, or cautious, and normal travel, how often you do a roll and what the chances of an encounter is. You have these pre-planned encounters like I talked about, but you also have the good random encounter table here. And they didn't do a regular 2d6 or something like that a lot of people do. So you have the bell curve. They did a D100. And I thought that was interesting. I don't know if it's good or bad, but there are different chances, right? I mean, 0-1 to 0-3 is a gray render, obviously a more uncommon thing. But if you're looking over here in the middle of it, there's a better chance, they range in the 5s, right? It looks like 5 or 6 or 7. Owl bears might be the most common, shambling mounds, and then then right here at the stag beetle, least common, right there with the gray render. So the things you recognize the most: wargs, manticores, owl bear, shambling mounds, that's common right in the middle there. But then out here, dire boars, a little more uncommon. So well done Well done on that front. Okay. Another encounter, another planned one, the Blackwater Causeway, EL6. It's a Hydra. You're crossing the bridge. A Hydra jumps up, kicks your ass. I remember this fight. It was kind of tough. It was a very difficult fight. I do like I said before, I like the fact that all these they tell you where to look for the monster, what page, and that they're all in the monster manual. You don't have to have like a trillion bullshit supplements to be able to plan that monster. But even still, they do have, I think, all these monsters in the back. So you can find them in the back of the book, I believe. I'm not sure. I have to check that, I guess. But even if you don't, you should have the monster manual of any game you're running, I think, Let's see here. Okay. All right, moving down here. Eventually you get out to Wrath Keep, guys. And Wrath Keep is the place where you're gonna find the horde and how big they are, essentially, Now, what they give you the story of the keep, all right, the whole bit of this, what's going on, why is it there, where's it all about, and the history of it. The Lord is poisoning. There's this ghost haunts the ruins, and that those who travel there at night say that sometimes the sounds of his anguished cries come from somewhere deep underground. And then you get into, what do we know? Like from the PC's perspective, this is all what the GM knows. But what do the PCs know? Here you got a knowledge local check maybe, or a bard might have some knowledge. Anybody, something like that, you can do a roll. And the more you know, the higher the roll, the more you know. So that's fantastic. And then they get into why it matters. Like, why the hell is this even here? Because Wormlord Koth knows of the rumors. And the keep's reputation of being haunted has served him well. He hasn't had to contend with any curious adventurers. So again, what you're talking about there's a story, there's history, which is the GM's job to write, the background for the immersion factor. There is how you convey that in a meaningful way to the players, or the PCs, if they might, be able to figure it out or know it and make use of it in some way. And then there's why it matters, because he took advantage of it, the bad guy, Wormlord Koth, and he's using the rumors to sort of scare people off. He's been relying upon those. Perfect way to use a backstory historical thing rather than just as a GM's way to like write 1,000 more words just for the word count and 3 cents a word, right? Perfect way to make it relevant and useful for both players and the GM, and to get more immersion into it. Okay, so now we're into the Wrath Keep details, and here it is. That's a shitty little tiny ass keep. One square equals 5 feet, not that big. All right, but Ruined Gatehouse, again, with the light and the creatures. I don't get why they're so fucking got a boner about light here. I don't understand it. But here it is anyway. You got the light, you got the creatures, and so be it. And then nothing there, but there we go. Gardener's Shack, a little block box text there, and then the shack might collapse on you. Fortitude save to avoid the damage. The towers. The South Tower, and then here are the developments. Okay, so if you kill or capture some of the minions, you might be able to get information out of them. This is the what if section again. Here's all the information you might be able to get. You might be able to get the fact that Drellin's Ferry is going to take place in like 11 days or 8 days from now or something like that. You talk about some of the allies and enemies, so you get a little intel. Who Wormlord Koth is, what that's all about in case Koth escaped. They got the wargs. The tactics of the wargs. Again, this is just a freaking warg encounter with 2 riders and 2 wargs, and yet look at the tactics. The goblin warg riders are out of their elements if caught without their mounts. Their first act in combat is to attempt to reach the far side of the stable, calling for the wargs to meet them halfway. Once mounted, the goblins try to force the PCs out into the courtyard, all while hollering and shrieking in an attempt to raise an alarm. Since 2 buildings are in a distance of at least 40 feet separate the goblins from their allies, the hobgoblins must make a DC 24 listen checks to hear the cries for help. The DC of this check drops to 9 if the goblins make it into the courtyard. They're well trained. They break off and attempt to flee only if their mounts are reduced to less than 5 hit points. They surrender if cornered. Perfect. But tiny little encounter. Look at all the detail for that in terms of tactics. Great. Shit art. I don't understand it. That's a crappy Manticore. Geez, that's a shitty Manticore. But I like the armor better of these guys and the weapons. It's just shit art, though. Illustration by F. Volwinkle. Sorry, F. I might insult you there. But this is a good picture here. This is a Wormlord Koth. This might be the best single picture in the whole adventure, honestly. And so you got the Manticore fight, Manticore tactics, the barracks, the war room, and then you would find a map. I love maps. The look at this. Look at this. Ha, no mercy. Ha. What the hell that even means? Destroy all in our path. Walls. Ha. Heavy resistance possible. Prosser. Burn it. The prisoners. Turgan wants halflings to eat. Death to the humans. Can we use the dwarf bridge? Ghost Lord to the south. Holds. What is this? Ozerdonian holds until red hand crosses. Koth base. All tribes muster here under Karn. I love this shit. I love this, like the scratch, Svarvith, lizard folk ? This is great. This is just, I love the flavor in here that they give you in this map. It really is fantastic. Really is fantastic. All right, so keeping on going. I'm turning pages here, guys. I'm turning pages. Let's see. Sorry, I mean the cough into the mic there. Warlorn cough developments. More pages. Here's a cool thing. So you get all the more encounters here. Designer notes. The treasure is a significant one for PCs. Even with the stuff, they give you a staff of life that could resurrect PCs. I don't believe in reincarnation. You're dead. You're dead. So I would never have that in my adventures. But they give you some notes, which is nice. Working law developments. The Skullgore's Bridge. So basically, what you got to do in order to slow, you find out that they're going to invade Drellin's Ferry, and you need to destroy a bridge that might slow them down. And there's a dragon you might be able to fight here. And there's also a little section about how to use magic against the bridge, which you would need, because it's like not exactly something you talk about in every book of, what do you do? How do you kill a bridge? Right. So you might need to use magic to destroy it. And what happens? What are the various spells that do certain things? Disintegrate, Softener, Stone Shape, Stone to Flesh, Rock to Mud, various things, how many hit points each thing does. Lower level spells don't do much damage. 3rd to 5th level spells can damage it, and 6th or high level spells can do significant damage. So it's not just a spell. Shooting magic missiles isn't going to do jack shit, right? But a higher level fireball might do more, or something like that, right? I kind of like that. And there's a decent picture of the bridge, actually. That's a good picture. I remember there's a dragon there. I remember that fight was pretty significant. But that's a very cool picture, I guess. I don't know. There's another picture by F. Warrenwinkle, or whatever your name is. So yeah, you saved your ass on that one. That's a great picture. That was a good fight. I remember that being a significant fight. All right. Okay, so then we're into Cinderhill. I like this. I like this part. I highlighted this because the Red Horde gathers at Cinderhill until day 7 of the adventure, and then it marches south. Because that gives you an idea that things are moving. With or without the PC's involvement, things will happen. Okay, things are going to happen. And if you're there on day 6 or day 7, you'll see them. If you're there on day 8, you won't see them. You'll just see the remains that there was a big group of people there. Love it. Love it. Okay, so what now? If they saw the Horde, feel awe and terrified, you're going to see thousands of people there. And then you got to let them know what's coming their way. The PCs try to bushwhack an existing patrol infantry at the camp, use the Marauder attack, the Goblin Raid, or the Into the Horde events to handle the resulting encounters. Some of these are encounters that are designed in the book that you can use for multiple purposes. Well done. Well done. All right, so return to Drellin's Ferry. You get back there, you let them know what the hell is going on. And then you can stand and fight, but no one in their right mind would stand down an army of thousands of well-armed humanoids with a few dozen militia and a band of adventurers. But your players might think this is what their characters are supposed to do. The sole virtue of this plan is that the river Elser holds up the Horde for several hours, giving the defenders plenty of time to take stock of the enemy and ultimately decide to run away. That's what they should be doing. But again, they let them. This doesn't say you could or can't. You just let them do what they want to do. You could evacuate the defenseless and then fight. Against the women and children, elderly, head start. Try to make peace. That doesn't go well. You basically end up being captured. But there is a rule for if you're captured, what happens. There might be a way out. Or you could evacuate the town. By far the best option. Given a head start, they will be able to flee east and stay ahead of the Horde. And so running event, the PC's next move on page 41 when the town evacuates. It's kind of like those adventures in the book game. If you do this, turn to page 12. If you do this, turn to page 7. Yeah, so that sort of thing, I guess. Yeah, so you have ill tidings. You return to the ferry. Speaker Winston wants to know what the hell happened. And you get some box text and all that kind of stuff. And then you have some what ifs here. The conversation. We fought a Hydra. Doesn't surprise me. We had a forest giant. Really? Holy crap. Cleared out the keep. Good. So you double the whole the hobgoblins? Hell no. There's an enormous horde coming to kill you. But you could stop them, right? What do you mean? 100? So no, enormous motherfucker, dragons and giants. Oh my. Yeah, so all this kind of stuff. This is good. This is good information, and it helps the GM, helps the harry GM, so that they're because you're focused on so many things. You want to gives you some role playing aids, I guess you could say. So that's excellent. So as the Red Hand marches, fast-moving, far-ranging bands of marauders sweep ahead, scouting lands ahead. Under the cover of darkness, a bold band of warg riders attacks the outlying buildings on the west bank of the Elser. So this is an encounter you guys could do just as you're in town, and there's a couple of waves here. I like to have waves. The first wave, the second wave of all the bad guys and Goblin Raid developments. There's no reason you can't use this encounter several times over the next few days, especially if the PCs are in or around the town about to come under attack by the Horde. Feel free to substitute new monsters targeting new parts of the town when you run it. For example, you can replace the Hellhounds with a Dire Wolf, or Zulkor Zol War Adept with a Doomhand War Priest, or a pair of Blood Ghost Berserkers. Yeah, I love it. Great advice. There's a Chimera attack. The Chimera just says, I'm heading into that town early, motherfucker. I'm going to start killing shit and taking their stuff. Rumors of war and a desperate council. Again, more box text. And yeah. It's just so fucking well done. Let's see. Return to Dylan's Fairy Tidings. I'm just turning my pages here. Pardon me. Let's see. Oh, there we go. Massacre. I highlighted this section over here. Interaction. This is an encounter best resolved through role-playing. Let the players argue their case for whichever response they favor. If you feel they've argued persuasively, their position should carry the day. All right? No rules for roles. And this is all about what to do. You're in the council room. You're talking. All the main players are there. And Delor is grim. Uamerl is sarcastic and snappish. Kellen is optimistic and even-tempered. Saran is grim. Whiston, flustered and indecisive. So you have a lot of personalities you're going to be role-playing here simultaneously. And then it tells you how to interact. So the PCs can persuasively carry the day if they argue it well. And then you got, again, more little details here about what might affect on the interactions, what might affect you motivated people to sway to your side of the argument, right? Okay, so Massacre at Drellin's Ferry, because it's going to be a shit show. Look at that. That's a good picture, I guess. That's pretty good. Paint illustration by F. Tsai, Tsai. A little too much red, but I like it. And you have waves. So this is the attack on the city. First wave, Manticores and Hobgoblin Blade Bearers. Second wave, third wave, assaults on the city, assault barge coming in, and you got more and more people coming in. And then, there's here with designer notes. Try to give your players one more chance. Didn't want to kill them. One more chance that the characters run away before you throw an overwhelming combination of monsters at them. But if your players insist on fighting to the death, consider obliging them. I love it, old school. If the party is wiped out, you will succeed in impressing upon your players the severity of the situation. The players can generate new characters and pick up the adventure in part 2 as a new band of adventurers dispatched by the Lord of Brindle to do something about the blockaded Rest Trail, which is the next section, right? So this is great. This is just good advice. Like, hey, if they want to be stupid, kill them. That's it. Just kill them because they're stupid. They deserve it, right? Perfect. All right, so let's see here. That is the first section, guys. The next is conclusion of part 1. What you learn at the end of it, the PCs. You got the PCs' next moves. You got questions and answers. Then you get into the final thing. What's the best way? What should we do to help? If you want to help, keep the warg riders from slaughtering the townsfolk. The Old North Road and the Rest Trail are blocked. If we're going to get reinforcements from outside the Vale, they'll have to come in from the north. I guess maybe go north to find out if there's any more hobgoblins marching from that direction. Cool. How do you get there? Boom. They give you, the directions, essentially. They give you the fucking Google Maps. And so the conclusion of part 1. Now, I went into this part in the most detail, but I'll get into the conclusion. The Red Horde, you learn that the Red Hand Horde means business. Monsters are blocking the roads to the north. One of the leaders of the Red Hand is in the ruined city of Rest, and the Horde is going to steamroll the towns east of Drellin's Ferry and just keep on going. And then you get into the next section, which is moving into the ruins of rest. That's where you get to potentially ally with wild elves, make some allies there, and score some victory points. Okay, so that's where we're at so far. I think that the first section illustrated everything that I love about this adventure. I'm not going to go into exhaustive detail like that for all the other sections, guys, because, a lot of fucking detail. But I think it illustrates every single thing that is good about this adventure. So let's see. So Raptor 7, the info on the NPCs was right in a Goldilocks zone, just right. Okay. Not too much, not too little. Yeah, that makes sense. What do you think so far, guys? Any thoughts as we're doing this? I got to catch my breath and have another drink here. So I'm interested in what you guys think so far. How's the review? How's the adventure? Have you run it before? Tell me as I take a sip here. I'm gonna need like drinking music too. Joe was having a drink. Joe was taking a sip, and then the music must play. Something like that. Yeah. So yeah. So, any thoughts? Anybody? I got 17 people watching on YouTube. None on Facebook. I don't believe it says none here. Let's see if Facebook shows me otherwise. According to Facebook, yeah, nobody else is watching on Facebook. And I have 5 people over on Rumble. So yay. Thank you, Rumble. Thank you, Frank. And it's pretty much it's Panther and Raptor 7 over on Rumble. So much appreciated, guys. At least those are the ones who were talking over there. Yay. All right. Let's see if I gain any more subs. It's funny. I used to put out a good video that got a few thousand views. I get 20 subs. Not anymore. I think that how to be an awesome GM guy, Guy Sklanders. He had that video. He's talking about how YouTube pretty much told him we're fucking over all dungeon tubers, D&D YouTubers. And I got to say, ever since that, he's right. I've just been in a hard to get one new subscriber. You get one, you lose one. You get 2, you lose one. You lose 2, you get 1. It's that kind of a thing lately. So yeah, it's hard. Ron talks Tabletop. I ran it twice. It was a great both times. Excellent review so far. Thank you, Ron. Anything I missed or anything you think I should point out that I missed, please let me know. Okay, so now we'll go over the rest of it. I'm not going to go over all the details like I did in the first section, but I did want to go over some of the important stuff here that I thought was pretty cool. So I like this part. Some PCs in other words, they're talking about what you're going to do here. If they go north, continue with the black fins on page 49. Some PCs might decide instead that their job is to harry the horde as it marches east, fighting the scouts, skirmishers and monsters raging out in front of the main body. So if they're going to stay in the Vale and resist the horde's onslaught, continue with the Elixir War. So the Elixir War. So basically, they're saying this isn't a railroad, even though there's like 5 chapters and he knows a beginning, middle, and end. It's not a railroad in the sense that the PCs have meaningful choices they can make and do certain things that make a difference. If you want to hang back and just fuck with them, instead of going to the north and clearing all that out, you could do the Elixir War section, and you have a lot of different encounters you're going to be dealing with, which I thought was great. If you didn't want to do that and you did want to head north, you can get into what the hell that's all about. Oh, what the hell is that? Exposed as a spy, Misha the Arenia breaks cover and attacks. A little hot, I gotta say. I'm not gonna lie, a little sexy. Yeah. So if you wanted to do that, you can. But if you wanted to go into the black fens instead, and there's the rules for captured. If you are captured, you get 1 opportunity to try to escape. May not make it though. Yeah. And if you wanted to dive into the horde itself and fight them, here's all the stats of everybody in the entire horde, which is well done. I love it. But if you wanted to get into the black fens and do the scout out the road to the north, you could do that. That's not a big deal. Okay. Then you got all of the different things you could do in the black fens. Let's see. You ever run or played a second edition Ravenloft series of modules for the Grand Conjunction? No, I never have. The only Ravenloft thing I've ever done is the original Ravenloft adventure. That was it. I played it and run it, and it's just super tight, and you're right on point. Thank you, Doom Bunny. As much as I despise them, YouTube Shorts are apparently a good way to boost your channel. I know. Eric Tankar has been telling me that too, and he's been getting a lot of views and subs from it. So I'm going to have to do it. I hate them. But thankfully, this Restream software that I'm using allows me to do a format. Like, watch this shit. I can't change my orientation, but there's an orientation where right now you're doing a widescreen YouTube video thing, but I could click a button and it puts it into shorts, and I can record a short on Restream, download it, upload it over to YouTube, and it knows that it's a short. And so I have so much content out there that I could link via shorts. I just need to make it a part of my routine. I need to spend a half an hour a day just doing quick shorts, a few a day, 3, 4 a day, and link to existing videos that I've done in the past to boost the views and the subs and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, I think that's a good idea. I do need to do that. I despise them too. I think they destroy the attention span of humanity, which is part of the powers that be's way to control us, that we can't concentrate on a goddamn thing because we have no attention span, because all we're doing is watching shorts and TikTok videos and Instagram reels. But yeah, if I want views, I'm going to have to do these fucking shorts, apparently. I tried setting up my players for this module, but they weren't interested in more at that level. Oh, man, that's a shame. That's a shame. I'm trying one more time with new players, but this time they're going to start at level 7. All right, that may do it. I mean, that may do it, DM Hostile Intent. I could do it. Yeah, you started giving them a bonus or something like that, you know? At the same time, if you got a group of players and they can't play without you DMing it, you can just tell them, hey, I'm the DM, bitch. Here's what we're doing. Play or not. So anyway, you get into the marsh section here. All right, and then the next section, again with the random encounters, the more common ones in the middle, the more rare things, they're green spawn razor fiends, which are a new monster on page 119. Yeah, the more rare shit is at the extremes there. All right, so you got the Blackfen map, the spawn of Tiamat. That's a new monster that they have in there, which is kind of interesting, I thought, and well done. Roll Blockade map, Killian's Hunters. And the whole thing here is you're coming across wild elves. You do them a favor, they do you a favor, which is kind of nice, I think. You hook them up, you kill the bad guys in their area or something, you clear out an area, and they will help you out in a war. You got some fast transport because they fly on owls, giant owls, which I kind of hate and like. Giant owls, I mean, that's kind of cool, and I don't like it at the same time. Whatever. Yeah, it's kind of neat though. And this is their main camp, like 1,000 or 1,500 people live there, I think. And they got, again, but each area though, you have the key sites, the Star Song Hill. All right, you have the key sites in there. All right, the Watch Post, the Owl Nest, the Guest Tents, House of the Speaker, Temple of Currency, and can't pronounce it, the Hall of the Ancestors, and then you got the notable people. I love it. People, places, and things. All right, so you got the places, you got the people. All you need is things, and the things could be interesting, unique areas like a big fountain or something like that. You meet them, you got the introduction part, and then you get back into the the dialogue, question and answer section. Really good stuff. Okay. Death Angels, what's up? Okay. All right. So then basically you kill the bad guys, you make an ally with these folks, with the wood elves, and then you gain a phylactery, which is the phylactery of the lich, the druid lich, which you would have to use later on to make them on your side. So all right, so let's scroll. That's not a bad picture, actually. That really does remind me of Dragonlance. Remember when the barbarian dude got acided and died, and she brought him back to life? That was kind of neat. So there you got her in the ruins. You got a black dragon, the whole bit there. It does remind me of Dragonlance a lot of ways. There's so many things that remind me of Dragonlance here. All right, so you got an Elf Alliance now. If you got alliance points, again, they have a whole subsection of the victory points for this alliance. When dealing with the elves, if you did certain things that scored you points, but 8 or less, they're not going to join. 9 to 13, they will. 14 or higher will do even more for you. And then you get into the third section. This is the lich, the druid lich, and it made no fucking sense. But how a druid could be a lich. But within third edition lore, it does. With the DC 30 check, a character can figure out that the creator of the phylactery was a blighter. A blighter is an extra who is turned back on the natural order. The blighter prestige class, that's what they were. They weren't kits. That was second edition, I think it was kits. The blighter prestige class was presented in Complete Divine, one of the 16 trillion splat books that Wizards put out in the third edition era. The Ghost Lore Statistics block includes all the info you need. So in other words, you don't need to have the Complete Divine book. So yeah, you're good there. All right. What is the Ghost Lord? Who is the Ghost Lord? Where are they? Information that might be valuable for role-playing purposes later, some of which you might be able to determine with knowledge checks and whatnot, so you could use it in a more interesting way while role-playing. All right, so they get into the lair. The Ghost Lord has an alliance because with the bad guys, because they had the phylactery. You have the phylactery, though, and these local bad guys don't know you have the phylactery, so you got to fight the local bad guys or somehow get through them, talk to the lich, bribe them with the phylactery and say, "Hey, Lich boy, we'll give you this phylactery back if you don't ally with them." And the Lich is, "All right, you give me the phylactery, I'll kill all them bitches, and I won't have any of my people go and attack your city." So it's not so much of an alliance; it's more of a disrupting of their alliance, which is good. The layer is good. It makes sense. It was in the shape of a lion or something, so that's why it's kind of weird. That's the paws of the lion. That's the way up. That makes more sense as you get into it. The lion's walk and blah, blah, blah. And you're fighting a dragon here, I believe. No, or something. Varanthian. I don't know what the hell it is. A half-fiend Behir. Whatever the fuck that is. I have no idea. I didn't get that deep into 3rd edition to know what that even is. A Behir has multiple arms. A half-fiend, I don't know what it is. But yeah, that's one of the big bad guys there. Yeah, so that was pretty cool, I thought. Let's see here. Sexy chick with a whip and leather. Can't go wrong with that, really. Honestly, not bad there. All right, so moving through here. So then we're into the 4th part. Let me get down. Oh, what's this picture? That's not bad, actually. It's not a bad picture, I gotta say. I like how they give the art credits on most of these pictures too. Illustration by W. England. Interesting. Yeah. All right, so now we're into the 4th part. This is the big fight. The big fight. Now, they did this so well. All right, they did so well. Before I jump into the 4th part, let me just catch up with you guys here, what you're all talking about. All right, so boom, boom, boom. Let's see. Death Angels has shown up. What's up? Hey, y'all. So I ran this starting at level 1. The party started in Brindle, and I set up the Illicit Vale as a low-level sandbox. Nice. Drawing them to Darlin's Ferry when they were at a high enough level. That's a perfect way to do it. You could earn the levels here. You could gain some knowledge and locations in there, and then it makes it more personal. Drellin's Ferry, if you're 5th level starting this thing, but you started in Drellin's Ferry as your home base for the first 4 levels, you can actually dive in and it basically have all of the necessary like emotional ties to the people they've gotten to know over the last few levels, so that's well done. That thing was 70s rock. ACDC. Oh wait, that was last video. Yeah, that was the other one. Howdy y'all. Great module. Brings back to the 4 years of time I served in high school. I look at high school the same way, man. I served time in school. I hated school. From the very first preschool, whatever the hell it was I ever did, to the last day of law school. I hated every fucking day of it. It was like a fucking prison. I have like a bit of oppositional defiance disorder. So, go figure. It's funny. It just reminds you so much of Dragonlance. A few years ago, Wizards put out a Dragonlance module called Shadow of the Dragon Queen that felt to me like it was trying to harken back to Right-Handed Doom. Yeah, it makes sense. There's a lot of carryover, I think, I was in my late 20s when this module came out. Yeah, I 06, so I was in my my mid to late 30s. Yep. Only thing I changed, I put a white dragon into the story. It seemed weird to not have all the chromatic. I would do the same, dude. I would have one dragon type for each thing. I honestly would do the same thing. You have 5 bad dragons. You have 5 chapters. Have 5 bad dragons. That makes total sense to me. I would do the same fucking thing. All right. So yeah. All right. So now we're getting into Brindle. The days before the battle, you're going to walk into Brindle with all the refugees that came out of Drellin's Ferry and everything you have done. So then they're setting up their defenses and fortifications. And here's all the shit they've been doing to set up their fortifications and what part you may have. There's an audience you would have. Oh, first, again, well done. Key sites, right? All the main locations in Brindle. They got the key people. That's a bigger town. So there's some more sites. Key people. Then they get into an audience with the Lords of Brindle. All right. So you walk in there, all badass. There's the Lords of Brindle. And that dude looks smug as shit, don't he? That guy. Look at that face. He looks like a smug mofo. All right. She looks evil, of course. This one over here is kind of hot. I wouldn't mind the little action here. This one looks like Tony fucking Stark, the guy on the far left there. He's like has a short arm too going on here. What the hell is like a T-Rex arm over there? But anyway, Lords of Brindle introductions. You get a lot of detail about the lords and the main people in this meeting, what the personalities are, how they are motivated towards you or not or against you, and then you get into the dialogue, and then the battle plans are made. The city's defense, you talk about that. And so all this, there's a lot of role playing here, tons of role playing, which I fucking love. I love that. And then the battlefield. What do the PCs do? Again, they figure out that the best thing you could probably do for us is range out there and handle the big threats, right? Which is exactly how I handle all that sort of thing. battlefield resources, reinforcements, magic items, and spells, designer notes. Okay, so here, good advice here. By this time, they expect the party to be 8th or 9th level. You'll notice all the battlefield events detailed here are EL, encounter level, 10 to 12. This is for two reasons. First, the encounters represent in many ways the high point of the adventure. Even they recognize that this battle is the high point. Sure, there's still one deadly dungeon to go, and the final battle with Azur Kul does an admirable job of serving as a climax to the story, but we expect the Battle of Brindle to be the most memorable part of Red Hand of Doom. Second, the PCs have more resources than normal. They shouldn't worry about conserving their spells and consumable magic, since between each event they'll have several minutes to recover and lots of reinforcements and magic to resupply with. I would not do that. I would not give them resupplies of magic, but this is a 3rd edition thing, and that's how they rolled back then. The Lions of Brindle, the elves you allied with, and the Serana should be available to party among, otherwise not be able to handle the challenges of the events. The inevitable loss of some of their allies also provides a sense of attrition as the battle grinds on. So in other words, they're suggesting you might want to save the day with the allies coming in here. All right, so then they get into the various things that you're going to have to do for the PC group. 1, save the walls. They got hill giants attacking the walls. Kill them. Next, you got a red dragon kicking ass. Kill it. Sorry, I got to take another drink here as you look at this decent art of the red dragon. El Perillo, well done. I like it. I like the moon. I like the stars, the purple. That's just a great contrast of colors. Anyway, let me have a here. Now, one thing I got to say, the amount of times they mention the word hero, Jesus Christ, it's like they're still dealing with the satanic panic and everything has to be heroic. Everybody's a hero. I mean, if you did a word search on this thing and found how many times, I wonder if I can. Let me see if I could do a search to find how many times they had the word hero. Let's see if it works. Hero. Does it show you the count? Is this, I don't even know if this thing is, it doesn't find them because it's not what do you call it, OCR or whatever the hell it is. So you can see it. But Jesus Christ, there are no heroes, heroic, so much through here, Holy crap. So the next one, Streets of Blood. I remember this one. It was cool. You're in the streets and you got to slow the horde's advance. And so you get a map of the streets and you're dealing with multiple waves. I love that. I love the fact that there's waves and you get a wave, you rest, a wave, another rest, short rest. Not a short rest in 5e terms, just you get a break. You might be able to throw some healing spells up. And next thing you know, boom, another wave comes through. They get harder and harder. If you hold the line, the horde falls back to regroup outside the fallen section of the city wall, giving the defenders a chance to regroup as well. If they fail, the horde takes up positions in a marketplace and now controls between 1/4 and 1/3 of Brindle. Either way, allow a lull several minutes before you begin the next event, which is a sniper attack. There's a sniper assassin. I love it. You go from hordes and waves to there's a fucking sniper on the roof. Of course, in the coffin maker shop of all places, take them out. All right, and it's a ninja because they had ninjas back then. It's a Black Spawn Raider ninja. So it was a Hobgoblin ninja. I don't fucking know. But yeah, fantastic. And then the final battle. Great. He goes to take out the Temple of Pelor, which is a good temple and all that. So you got to kick ass at defend and maybe kill the dude who's attacking the Temple of Valor. Now you get into the victory points section. So all the things you could have done to earn victory points here, you're going to get the score. All right. So if you killed the worm lords, you got various scores depending on how good they were, how tough they were, putting out the fires, alliance with the defense council, exploding Mitha, disrupting the alliance of the ghost lord, the druid. You get some. And so basically, if you accumulate 40 or more victory points, the hobgoblin horde does not recover. After they flee Brindle, the monsters break up into warbands and scattering the surrounding countryside. Blah blah blah. If you don't score victory points, all might not be lost. They give you a chance. If you're close to 40, you might be able to save it. The horde takes 1d4 plus 1 hours to regroup, and then the PCs might kill enough of them, the named commanders, to put them over the 40 mark. If you kill enough of the named commanders, you might be able to get yourself into the 40 part. And then one way or the other, either the dude is on his deathbed asking for help, or he's victory and he's asking for help to go where they found intel. The Fane of Tiamat, the final part of this, is where you got to now go to kill Tiamat, or the Fane, or the aspect, whatever the hell an aspect is of Tiamat that is coming through. There's some devils up there too. So, The Worm Smoke Mountains, most dangerous regions, of course, because it's like EverQuest. Each region has a difficulty level, right, for levels of adventurers going through. So they get the features of the Fane of Tiamat, the security levels they take, excellent, well fucking done. Random encounters in the mountains, tough stuff. All these ELs, 7, 8s, and 9s, good shit there. And then you get into fighting into the Fane of Tiamat. If I remember right, there was a dragon. Various dragons in this 2 area, or the horrors or something like that. There, it was pretty good though. The dragon layers, yes. Take all the dragon layers here and all their hordes and whatnot for various dragons that may or may not be still alive. That's done. Oh, it was a good picture. It was a good picture. Oh, Von Winkle is pulling it off. One shitty picture with 2 really good ones here so far that we found. Yeah, that's creepy and cool. Actually, torture room and everything. So well done there. So it's standard. It's a dungeon crawl. It's the final dungeon crawl to go kick shit, kill shit, and take their stuff, and you might be able to fight the bad guy, at the end here. So let me turn pages. Sorry, if I have any notes here I wanted to touch upon. I don't think so. Because this was pretty straightforward. It was pretty straightforward. It was leading up to the final fight. You kill the final boss and you win, right? They might escape, they might not, but the aspect that Tiamat might escape, maybe not. It's no joke though. The final fight is pretty tough, I think. And yeah, and then you get into the Barb Devils here, treasure. I wonder what the treasury. Let's see what the treasury is. I always like to, back when I was looking for modules to buy in the store, I go to Walden Books or whatever, I would always skip to the back first and I try to figure out like what's the loot. Because back then we were in the era of it was just me and my brother, and maybe we could get one friend to play, or we could rope my sister into playing. Then we could have another one, but it was usually me and him just playing. He had multiple characters, and I would run a PC, a DM PC, and I was 14 or 15, whatever, 16. And I remember I would always look in the back to see what the treasure was, because we would slit the cover open, pull it out after buying the fucking Forest Oracle. Never again would I buy something unseen. I would open it up, read it, see if it was any good, jump to the back to the final treasure. And if the treasure benefited my character, my DM PC, I would be more inclined to buy that adventure. So, sorry. Just how it rolled back then, right? So I always wanted to look at the treasure to see what the hell was there. Excuse me. I got a drink here. 2 hours of talking, and ain't no joke, huh? This is called Zevia. It's kind of a cool thing. It's a stevia flavored soda, seltzer. It's a root beer flavor. There's multiple flavors. The best one I think is root beer. It's called Zevia, and it's like no carbs, no calories, no sugar, nothing. It's just fucking tastes good, So that's my go-to for quick. If I don't want to drink soda because so much sugar and all that, But anyway, let's see what that fucking treasure is. There's let's see. The wall of Tiamat's wrath, blah, 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 blah. All right, we got chests of money. White chest, gold, silver, platinum. Black chest, we got some gems. Green chest, art. Red chest, pearls, mithril box, emeralds, potions. I already got some magic stuff. 14 potions of cure moderate. Jesus, 6 potions of bull strength. This is the fucking 3rd edition bullshit, man. Jesus Christ, that's a dragon horde's worth of shit there. 5 lesser restoration, 4 shields of faith, and a partridge in a fucking fair tree. All right, then the blue chest, adamantine dwarven morax, +1, +2 defending flaming whip, python rod, a ring of chameleon power, a bag of tricks. Yeah, a lot of shit here. Charisma +4. Yeah, by the end of the day, if you were 20 level, you didn't have +6 items for all your ability scores. You sucked in 3rd edition. It was such a fucking ridiculous thing. Yeah. All right, here's the Worm Lord. All right, so only 86 hit points. He has 4 blue Abashi with him. They have a tough time with the battle. Again, attack. So don't prepare ahead of time. The shrill sound of growing portal penalizes his blah, 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 blah. Yeah, so it was interesting. It's a good fight. Designer notes. Here's the details about the final fight. Don't expect them to hit it on the first time. May have to get out of there. The aspect of Tiamat is 174 hit points. Jesus Christ. Then the conclusion. Wow, look at that. That's a great picture there. I like that picture. It's kind of well done. Yeah, that's very cool, actually. All these heads are blasting energy up to all 5 heads to create this aspect, I guess. Very cool. Very well done. I like how back then the dragons had different heads so you could tell them apart. Even if you didn't see the color, if it was a black and white, you knew that that's red, that's green, that's white. You know what I mean? They had a different shape to their skulls. I enjoyed that. All right, so then we're getting the appendices rather, with all the various. We talked about this already. The first section, the first appendix had all the stuff by type. Then afterwards, you could buy the other stuff by encounter. So, yeah, and again, you have all the maps here. So, I would definitely buy this in PDF, get all the maps just for that purpose alone. You might even have to buy it, guys. Just saying. You know what I mean? Jelly bean. So that's pretty much. Yeah, it was a great Bone Devil picture, wasn't it? Jesus, let me get back here. All right, let me scroll up. Where the hell were we? Let's see. Was it 06? Yeah, early 30s. Yep. Finally caught a live show. Love your videos. Keep it up. Thank you, Stan. Appreciate the tricorn. The tricorn. I like that. LDM really aspires to edition art and designs over the top and pretentious. This one is decent. I agree. The maps are fantastic because this might be one of the earlier Mike Schley map deals. But yeah, it might be, but he did a hell of a good job here, I think. Yeah, he did a hell of a good job. Let's see. So one thing is for sure, none of it was AI generated. Absolutely. Climbing the Mountain, Joe SR representing. Yes. Climbing the Mountain was my very first, I believe, subscriber, who joined the channel, pays 99 cents a month. My very first one. So you got old school cred with me there, Climbing that Mountain. You're my very first 99 cent a month subscriber. Like I said, I got, I think, 11 or 12 now. If I get to 50, I will do a once a month live stream just for you guys. Nobody else will be there. Nobody else will see it. So just us hanging out. So I think I got 11 or 12 now. So whoever wants to join, hit the 99 cent level. There's multiple levels depending how much money you want to throw at me to help pay for these fucking subscriptions and bullshit. But all of anything is appreciated, even super chats. So gee, look, it's possible for the PCs to fail. Imagine that. This ain't no Wimpy 5e module. Absolutely not. Greatest Bone Devil picture I've ever seen. I agree. This was the 5e module. All this would happen at Lord Charma's ballroom. I know nothing. What was I? I'm not sure, Death Angels. I'm not sure. I'm not sure if it even shows me the order. I just remember that Climbing the Mountain was my very first, I believe. I'm almost positive. Let me see if I could find it, actually. Memberships. Let me see if it ranks them. Yes, it does show you how long they've been in there. I have 11 members. Climbing That Mountain was number 1. Howard Hughes, who actually sent me a $20 super chat once. I was shocked. Then he joined, and I haven't seen him since. Howard Hughes is my second. Then Bill Griggs. Then Michael Steng. I don't want to go into everybody. Shark is a member. Death Angels, you're somewhere in the middle. You've been a member for 17 days. Climbing That Mountain has been a member for 20 months. So definitely the most old school member. I got like 5 or 6 a couple days ago. People joined because they realized they could do it. So that was kind of cool. And Ronald, you're the most recent one. So yeah, Climbing the Mountain 20 fucking months. And he has a little badge of yellow or orange reddish to show it. So yeah, I guess I can show, with the order of people who joined was. So much appreciated, Climbing the Mountain. You're my first subscriber ever. So appreciate it. I have some comments over there on Facebook. Let me just shout out Christopher Justin Moneymaker. Got to get up for work, going to bed. He'll subscribe on Rumble tomorrow. Hey, Joe, I'll check out YouTube channel for sure. All right, so that's cool. Thank y'all. And how are we doing over on Rumble? We have 6 people on Rumble. Mostly Raptor 7 is the one commenting, though, So, yeah, 6 people still watch on Rumble. I cannot believe it. 6 people watching and 8 followers. So that's kind of cool. Subscribe on Rumble, guys, whoever's watching over there. We have more for you. And all the people who are looking on Rumble, later on Spotify, remember, I posted like 50 of my videos, especially the DM series up there and some of my most popular videos over on Rumble, Spotify, and Locals. But there's a couple hundred more videos on YouTube. So you check out my YouTube channel and look at all the older ones. Like and subscribe, of course, and check it out. So let me go through my review. All right. So now I went through the outline of the whole adventure. All right. And I have a certain outline I do. I want to keep it consistent. So I do the same reviews and the same outline for every single adventure so that there's consistency here for you guys. So let's see. Does this adventure make sense? Yes, it does. Does it have a great backstory and delivery? Yes, it's not an info dump. It has a good, strong start because you're starting with combat. Excellent sense of immersion because there's a ton of history and detail there that makes sense and you could use it in a meaningful way. It's not just a hack and slash adventure. There's a lot of role playing, a lot of negotiation. It's great. It's definitely non-linear in its narrative because what you can do is anything you want. It's sandboxy. There's certain chapters, things that are going to happen, but it's not at all a railroad in any way, shape, or form. I think, guys. So that's a great feature there. Let me pull you up here. So, boom. Sorry. Got too many tabs going. Role-playing combat and exploration, hell yeah. Sense of urgency, yes, because there's a time frame. There's a ticking clock. The invasion will happen on a certain day. They're good plot hooks to get involved. They're listed there, but I think that what one person said in the chat there, I'm sorry, I forget your name. A little too much stuff there. But you want to start maybe a first level, get them a sense of the groundedness in the area. So yeah, personal stakes for the PCs, not so much unless you do that, start them at first level in the area. Classes, chance for all classes to shine. Not so much thieves. There's not a lot of thief shit, but yeah, pretty much everybody. But back then, third edition, thieves were backstabby combat people, so it wasn't a thing that thieves were thieves. They were just the backstabby combat rogue thing from Warcraft, right? So can it fit in a campaign or is it a one shot? Either. You could drop it anywhere in a campaign or have it as a one shot. I think you're good to go. Are there subplots and twists? No, I don't think so. Intelligent ecology, and yeah, I think so. I mean, there's a lot of good tactics. The monsters have they make sense. The only thing that didn't make sense was why the hell so many hobgoblins joined up in this mess. I don't get it. Yeah, I don't get it, but yeah, a lot of them did though. Strong atmosphere, totally. On a strong ending, yes. I mean, like even the writer said that the real climax is the fight in the town, and it's anticlimactic, but it's a wrapping up. But it's still the toughest fight is the end. So yeah. Unique game mechanics, hell yeah. I mean, the victory point system, the alliance point system, all that stuff is unique and it makes it really cool. The encounters are definitely memorable. Definitely has a great tactical depth of it. And there's a different variety of them too. So yeah. Sometimes they're just monsters. Sometimes there's intelligent classed individuals there. The monster and encounter design, are they well balanced and interesting? I mean, I think so. I think each encounter was unique. Some of it you could use over and over again, like they suggested, because they're generic, right? But most of them are pretty unique based on the situation. The look at the bridge and the Hydra, for example, right? Did they have unique abilities? I think so, because it's third edition. Everything was unique in third edition. It was so goddamn complicated, but yeah, they did. Are enemies intelligent and capable of adapting to player tactics? Yes. In fact, the tactics description of each encounter describes what they would do in great detail, if this, if that. So yes, fantastic stuff. Are the mundane enemies like bandits and soldiers and guards handled in an interesting way? I think so, because there's not usually just the mundane guys there. There's usually other things there as well. So I think, yeah, that makes sense. Do the wandering encounters make sense? They all made sense for the terrain they were in. The NPCs were definitely memorable, meaningful, and they added flavor, and they can evolve because the events of the story keep evolving. And so, yes, the more you deal with them, the more they're going to evolve based on your interactions with them. So I think the NPCs were great, really great. As to shopping, not so much. I mean, they do have the old trope of third edition that you could hire somebody to make a magic item in a day and a half for you. I hate that. I never did it, and I never will. They don't have price lists in the town. There's not so many unique items either. You're just looking at the player's handbook. Excuse me, I keep burping. The other problem with Zevia, it makes you fucking burp your ass off. So keep burping away here, guys. Local economy makes sense. They don't get into it that much to know. Are there other places to go sell more expensive stuff? No, you're not going to be able to sell. Go somewhere, travel, sell, get the gold and coin, and then buy. You're not going to get that. Everything happens within this very, very limited time frame. So you're not going to take the time to drive 10 days or hop on a horse and travel a few days to go to somewhere to buy and sell shit. It's not going to happen. Is the villain one-dimensional or has some depth to it? There's multiple villains and multiple levels of villains, and they're all a little bit unique. So yeah, does what the villain is doing make sense? It's kind of a trope. I mean, big dragon guy wants to get Tiamat here, right? So it's in that regard, it's he has a great master plan, but he's not morally ambiguous at all. Does he grow and evolve? No, he's not. I mean, is he a mystery? Only to the extent that you don't know where the hell he's at until the end. Does he have escape routes? You could always make an escape route. He has minions, definitely has those devils aspect of Tiamat here too. Now, chances to explore. Is it a dynamic environment? Yes. What you do or who you talk to, everything changes based on your encounters, role playing and otherwise. So I think it definitely has a good dynamic environment. Are there mysterious places? Yeah, there's a ton of shit there. I think they could have more, like every encounter that is a pre-canned encounter is a combat encounter for the most part. I think I don't remember any, like, you find a creepy fountain in the woods. There's none of that kind of shit. There's an old ruin with runes on it, and you don't know what the hell they are, and it does creepy weird things if you touch a rune or go in a hole. Or there's none of that shit, right? So, and that they could have done more with that. That's the mysterious places. Are there environmental hazards? Yeah, I mean, some of the terrain, especially the last one, valleys and ravines and all that, it takes a long time to traverse. So that's kind of cool, I think. In terms of problem solving, are there puzzles or riddles or traps or mysteries? No, it's a big mass combat war thing. So you're not going to get a lot of that sort of thing here, which good. I don't like puzzles or riddles. Traps or, a 10-foot pit trap gives a fuck. Mysteries, not so much as just the motivation, where the main guy is and what they're all about. That's the only mystery I think you have there. Player agency. Is this linear or non-linear? It's definitely non-linear, even though it seems like it's a railroad because you got 5 chapters and an inevitable outcome. But your actions within that inevitable outcome affect how the thing does turn out, right? So on the one hand, it seems railroady, but on the other hand, there's a lot of player agency. Even remember that one section, it says, if you don't want to go north and you just want to fuck with them, fuck with the army, you can do that. And here's 10 encounters to do that shit. If you want to go north, here's what you're going to see. Here's the encounters up there. And each thing does victory point stuff. So, you can see what happens. That's good though. It's really good. So are there chances for the players to do their own thing without breaking the adventure? No, there's a time frame. Like I said, 65 days, there's an invasion in Brindle. You're going to have it, right? Do their choices matter? Most definitely, because it affects victory points. Meaningful consequences for ignoring plot hooks. Yes, they progress. They don't get impeded. Can the game evolve based on the choices the PCs make? Yeah. I mean, that's a built-in thing with the victory point system. So yes. Role playing, character development opportunities. I think so. Chances to learn stuff, moral and ethical dilemmas. Oh yeah. I mean, you're dealing with a lich, right? And you gotta give an evil dude his phylactery so that he kills the other evil dudes, and you got to make a deal with them. So yeah, any paladins in the group are going to definitely have a moral or ethical dilemma, as long as they get over, look past the whole thing. How the fuck is a druid a lich? I would not make him a druid. I'd make him a wizard, magic user, as we called them back in the day. Any subplots or side content? No, there's no like factions or rivals. There's no individual quests for PCs. Nothing like that. This is a group adventure. You're not going to like break out while you're in town and do individual side quests and things like that. It's not going to happen. Are there downtime economies and downtime activities and in-game economies to engage with? No. I mean, it's a 3rd edition thing, so you're getting magic items and gold thrown at you. Turn around, you walk in the door, hey, here's a +3 staff. Oh, fuck you. I mean, that's how it was. That's how they rolled back then. So is there a good boss fight with new mechanics or unique things? Yeah, I mean, the whole thing with Tiamat, that's unique. Multi-stage battles, most definitely. You have waves of fight in some of these encounters. Minis required or theater of the mind. Since it's tactical in so many ways and there's so much strategic tactical input and advice, I would think that you would probably want to use minis or VTT or something like that. It makes them, I think, a lot easier. Beyond combat, can you solve combat stuff without combat? Not a lot of it. I mean, the lich thing, you could fight the lich or deal with them. You fight them, you might die. A good chance of that, but yeah. A lot of it social encounters. There's no investigations or mysteries, though. It's not that kind of adventure. Good magic items, most definitely, because this thing is chock full of magic items. If you're going to run this under any other system other than 3rd edition, you're not going to want to do this magic item dump. It's a Monty Hall thing, as we called it back in the 1st edition days. This is a Monty Hall adventure, but this is par for the course for 3rd 3.5 and Pathfinder era. So like I said, the Christmas tree is in full effect here. So unique non-magic items, it's mostly gold and gems, as you saw. Even the big horde was gold and gems and magic items. Were they well placed and made sense? Yeah, I think so. There's just an overwhelming amount of them. Did the ending, was it meaningful? Yeah, you won. you beat the bad guy, right? And then the aspect of Tiamat might have gotten in the way. So that's a long-term thing to, lead to a sequel or something, more adventures. With the multiple endings, you either win or you lose. In that sense, yeah, multiple endings, right? No real plot twists. So, all right. So now the big question: what is my rating? What is my rating? Which I will tell you in a minute. I got to take a leak. How'd that for a cliffhanger? I'll be right back. Cliffhanger for the win, baby. I have returned. I'm sure you're all thrilled. Oh, God. All right. So, anyway, let's go back and see what you guys are talking about before I get to the final rating here. All right. There we go. All right. Couldn't have been too far behind. I think it was on the stream when you enabled it. Okay. All right. Cool. Will this video be available as a video on demand? I want to save it so I can remember to buy this gem despite it being third edition. Yeah. This once I do a live video, it goes into my, if you go to my YouTube channel, you can look at my videos, and there's like the shorts, the lives, the recorded ones. Look at live, it'll be there. I don't know how long it'll take to process. All right, but it'll definitely be there. Look at my live channels. It'll definitely be there. Okay. I keep every video. I never delete them. I'm blue, Dabba-dee, although I don't understand that, but Little Joe figures out how to change the badges to custom icons. Oh, God, yeah. Right now, it's just colors. One thing at a time, man. I'm not that tech proficient here, Oh, I remember. It was his face reveal episode I subbed on. Oh, okay. A lot of people did for some reason. Yeah. Yeah, raw stevia has a little aftertaste, but for my book, it's better than all the artificial sweeteners. They all pretty much cause fucking cancer. So stevia is just a fucking herb. It's natural. It's a leaf. It's just sweet. It's 400 times sweeter than sugar. But it does have a little bit of an aftertaste, but it's better than the aspartame aftertaste and all that. There's an updated victory point. Someone approved table floating around on Reddit. Oh yeah, okay. Prima facie, you're welcome. I haven't think I've seen you here, Prima facie. So welcome to the channel. Proverbial deal with the devil. Make sure you're not aiming into the wind on that cliff. So we could call it a Wayne Brady now. I love Mrs. Death went to high school with them. Johnny Damon. I'm not sure what the hell we're talking about there. Wayne Brady, Johnny Damon. Monty Hall, I've heard that in a while, and I want to buy this gem and adapt it to second edition. Oh, it's definitely adaptable to any edition. I will definitely tone down the treasure a few notches. Yeah, that's the biggest thing. You're going to have to tone down the treasure. You can probably keep the encounters the same, but all their abilities and shit like that, you're going to have to change. Like, just like, there's a lot of stuff in there where it's like, if the characters make a spot check, or a successful whatever the blah, and it's like, it doesn't exist in second edition, so you have to figure out another way to do that sort of thing. But yeah, it's definitely convertible to any edition. I might just run this or something like this. Honestly, like I said at the beginning of the video, with about a year and a half, when I finally playtest my own RPG, I might run something very much like this. Very much, I say, because I might want to publish it later. Why not, right? But I might run something very much like this, I think. Yeah, definitely. So anyway, my rating, everybody. It's been 2 hours and 15 minutes. You guys have suffered through me yakking at you. And holy Christ, it's been a fucking, I guess it's weird. My voice, man, 2.5 hours. It's like 2 hours, 15 minutes. It's like, it does hit you, but I'm kind of shocked I can still keep going here. By the way, how's the sound? Is it okay? Is it too low? Is it okay? Is it too high? Because this Restream thing has various tools that I could set the level of sound. So yeah, I don't know how it's working. My mic has little knobs and all that stuff. So if the sound is okay, I'll be happy. Anyway, my rating on this, It's not going to surprise you guys. Fucking A plus. I think it's the greatest adventure ever written in the entirety of since Wizards of the Coast purchased Dungeons and Dragons. I think it's just fantastic. I love it. I would run it over and over again for multiple groups if I could. Just a matter of converting it over and knowing it. Yeah. Sound seems good. Thank you. Thank you, Death Angels. Appreciate it. So yeah, I give it an A plus, guys. I give it an A plus. So what do you think of this time too? I got 23 people. I got more people watching now than I did at the fucking beginning. So I got 23 on YouTube, none on Facebook. Facebook hates me, I guess. What do we got going over there? We have 6 people watching over on Rumble. So shit, yeah, man. Shit, yeah. So I got like 29 people all at once right now at goddamn 2.5 hours in or more. And then at 10 minutes to 11 p.m. on the East Coast. So hell yeah, you guys, man. Hell yeah. You guys are out there kicking ass. Appreciate it. Close that out. Boom, boom. Okay, so what do you guys think I should do next time? My first few videos, if you're seeing in the little pattern there, the first few were all starter ones. All right, I did the T1, right? The whole moat house thing. I did the village, the village of Hamlet. I did the Fandelver thing. And what the hell was the other one? Jesus Christ, I'm blanking on it. The village on the Keep on the Borderlands. So that was my adventures, the beginning ones. And I took your advice and I did Dark Tower. And then this is one I definitely wanted to do. So this is my 5th one in my review series. Now what? I hate pet peeves. Stamp of approval off to the PDF ferry I travel. And dude, and if you're going to get this, like I said, there's a couple extra things. There's the PDF. Some PDFs have the web enhancement in the back. If you get 160 something page one, you got the web enhancer. 150 page one. If you get the 128 page one, you just have the basic bitch red-handed doom. You want the one with the web enhancement because it organizes the monsters by encounter, not by type, right? So you want to get that. And there's a map pack because you're probably going to run this most likely online or something like that. The map pack is essential for that sort of thing. So you want to get the map pack too. Daytime a lot of work, and so I do the reviews on Sundays. At like 1 o'clock, but yeah, there might be still, you're right, some people working, right? Yeah, death spot checks suck. I can't stand them. I ignore them. I don't have any passive checks or anything like that. Great stream. Thank you, LDM. So what should I do next, guys? Any suggestions? Otherwise, I'm going to be browsing my shelves throughout the week and figuring out. I don't think I'm going to do, if somebody suggested I do the Tome of Adventure Design Toad for short, I don't think I'm going to do that because I'm going to focus on adventures. I want to make that my main focus for at least the short period of time, maybe six months or a year. Then I'll branch off into other things like game systems and supplements and all that. But I definitely want to focus on adventures because I think that's the thing that most DMs and players are interested in is what can I run, right? And I think that's more of a service for you guys is what can I run. So what stands out for you guys? You can put this in the comments. I think that's probably going to be our best comment. If you're going to comment for the algorithm. Like I usually do, answer a random question or something like that. Like the last one was, what was your favorite, classic rock band or song or whatever. I think for this one is, what do you want to hear? Tuma Horrors. What do you want to hear me do a review on? Death Angel says Tuma Horrors. I hate that adventure. It's a death trap dungeon, and that which I'm not a fan of. I'd be very biased against it. I could give you my review right now. It sucks. But and there's not much to it, right? I mean, there's not much to it. You go here, you do something wrong, you die. You go here, do something wrong, you die, right? So it's not my favorite adventure of all time at all. I was on the verge of running it once. I had prepped it and everything, and I sat down at the table with all the players, and I'm like, you know what? This just sucks. I'm not going to run it. I bailed on it. I did a different thing at the time. I just didn't fucking run it. So I don't want to do something I hate. I'll do something I'd be critical of, like Dark Tower, but nothing I hate. I like that. So yeah. So I appreciate the suggestion, but I would not do it service. I would not do it justice. It wouldn't be a good service for you guys. Anything second edition. I mean, tell me a good second edition module, right? How many are there? How many good ones were there? I don't even know. I mean, that's the problem, right? I mean, second edition, they had their thing. They had their settings. I mean, second edition was a setting thing. That was the thing with second edition. It was definitely a setting thing. I mean, I could pull up a file list here of various second edition things. that I might have come across that might just appeared on my hard drive at some point or another. But I don't know that there's any good ones. That's the problem, you know. I don't know if there's any good ones out there. That's the thing. Are there any? Do you know of any LDM? Because I'd be happy to do one if there was a great one. There may not be, because like I said, this is the only good third edition module out there in existence in my book. So who the hell knows? Who the hell knows? Let me see. Preference or Greyhawk or Farron? Farron only because, and only if you use the AD&D first edition gray box, along with only the first couple supplements like the Savage Frontier and Waterdeep in the North, maybe the Am one that had the 3 Tether Am and all that in Kalimshan. And that's it. I would stop there and ignore every single other thing ever put out for it. Honestly, that's what I would do. So second edition, let's see what second edition modules. A Hero's Tale, a Paladin in Hell, a Bastion of Faith, Chronomancer, Dancing Baba Yaga Hut, Den of Thieves. There's shit. There's nothing here but shit. Swamplight. What the hell is that? Fighters Challenge, Thieves Challenge. Mystara stuff. Red Steel, Odyssey. They had their silver anniversary against the Giants. Return to this, return to that, return to Right Plume, return to Keep. I heard they both sucked. They weren't. The second edition, all my stuff that I have, it's not good. There's nothing stood out. I had the Destiny of Kings module, and it sucked. Nothing really stood out in terms of second edition, in terms of modules, guys. If you could figure out one, I'd be happy to look at it, because honestly, I'd be happy to see a good second edition module. You know, the AD&D ones, the first edition ones were the classics, and they have their place. But by today's standards, would you change them? Would you use them? Yeah, probably. I'd probably change it up, or maybe not even use them, right? Night Below, that's a thing. All right, that is fucking huge. All right, let me show you what fucking Night Below is. All right. Where the hell is it? I'm here. I'm just getting it. All right. Yeah, this is a box set. All right, I have it. It's one of my COVID purchases, because I wasn't going to bars and shit during COVID, and I had all this extra money. Who knew how much you spend in a fucking bar? Anyway, I had all this extra money. I'm like, I'm going to fill in the gaps in my collection, right? So I figured, let me get certain things that people are saying are fantastic, and Nights Below is one of them. And it's written by my favorite ever writer of anything D&D, Carl Sargent. So it's an Underdark adventure that deals with what the hell was that? Mind Flayers, I believe. All right, so it's really good. It's really good. Into Hell or something like that. There's a Paladin in Hell. I know there's a Paladin in Hell LDM. Night Below it's a box set. There's multiple books to it. All right, there's maps. There's tactical terrain grids. I mean, it's insane, the level of detail. This isn't a module as much as it is a massive campaign setting. And I don't know if it's a railroad, because I haven't read it. I can't honestly say if it's a railroad or not, but it's a setting in itself. There's player handouts. There's maps. I mean, there's monster inserts. Remember those fucking monster manual things where you had to stick them in the fucking book? So yeah, there's monster inserts there. I mean, for the monster manuals, multiple maps. It's really good from what I've heard, but it's fucking huge. It might be worth reviewing. Honestly, I do have it on PDF. I do have this. Maybe I will. But let me know. Powder and Hell was good. I don't know. I can't say. I can't say it was good or not. I didn't read it. I don't know it. I know it's the classic picture, the whole classic art picture, but I don't know. No 3 Underdark stuff. Was there any good second edition or third? Oh, you're talking third edition. I'm sorry. Was there? I don't know. You guys tell me. PDF error is fast and kind today. You got the 162 page. So you got the one with the web enhancements. Now you got to find the map supplements. All right. So S Panther, find the map supplements for it, and you will be able to have all those, the player maps and the DM maps for each place. That way you can put it up on your VTT if you're going to run it online. So that's cool. Maybe I will do Nights Below. It's going to be a long fucking review. If I do it at night next week, it's going to be starting at 7, because it's going to probably be like several hours. I mean, this has been 2.5 hours so far, but I would imagine next maybe 3.5 for a review like that of Knights Below. I'll have to do a lot of reading. It's a very in-depth adventure, but you're right. It's the only other second edition adventure I've ever heard that was any good, that anybody ever give any credit towards it for being good. So yeah. You might I might do that then. I might do that. So yeah. So all right, maybe that's it. So Knights Below, unless I hear otherwise. I already heard somebody mention the Paladin in Hell. I do have that module. Oh shit! Let me pull up the wrong fucking one. Paladin in Hell. I have a PDF of the module. Let me put it that way. So it's pulling it up right now. So I mean, here, look at this though. The cover. Let me present this. Here, I'll share it with you guys. Let me see. It's 67 pages, so it's longer than the average adventure, right? Share a window. Paladin in Hell. Boom, boom. All right, so there it is. I mean, the cover art is shit, but it mimics the Paladin in Hell thing, I guess, right? It's Monty Cook, so it's questionable whether it's any good or not, because I'm go back and forth on that fucking guy. I think he's overrated. Definitely fucking overrated. It's not isometric, but some other kind of map. I don't know what it is. All right. I don't know what the adventure is. Maybe there's a back cover that could tell me. Let's see. All right. Eternally does the Lord of Nessus scheme, and his designs are for all eternity. In the pit of hell do the devil's team around his throne, and his reign is unchallenged. By the 8 dark ones is he held supreme, and his name speaketh not as Asmodeus. I spoke it. Oh shit, I'm going to summon him now. To some, justice is more important than glory, duty is more important than desire, and goodness is more important than life. The great paladin, whatever, was such a man, but even the sleep of death at the end of his long life, time spent battling evil, did not bring peace to or ever. During his funeral, the entire temple was dragged by terrible magic into the 9 hells, along with the soul of him and scores of living mourners. What unearthly motive could be behind this tragedy? Only the bravest, strongest, and most resolute heroes, of course, everything is heroes in 2nd edition, love the middle to find the answer. Along the way, they will meet the enigmatic wizard Emrakul the Chaotic. Yes, that's a throwback. I like that alone. Sail aboard the fiendish ship Demon Wing and finally face the horrific minions and overwhelming terrors of hell itself. Character levels 15 to 20. That's kind of hardcore badass. All right. I mean, just for that fact alone, it might be worth a high-level adventure. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I'm looking at an OCR version. This is not obviously the print scanned-in version, right? That's a decent picture. That picture kind of reminds me of The Lost and the Damned, all those books. That's kind of cool, honestly. I don't know. What is it? I mean, you guys tell me about this. If you have played it and run it, looked at it or whatever, and you think it's good, let me know. I've never looked at this thing because I figured Monty Cook, right? So if you think it's any good, let me know. Yeah. Second, all right. So playing 2nd edition, as I stated, from Dungeon Magazine had some good shit. Now I'm hearing more about Night Below. Yeah, I kind of do too. City of the Spider Queen, Expedition to the Demon Web Pits. Oh God, those were sucky, dude. We bought a couple of those, my brother and I, and they sucked balls. The 3rd edition, they were terrible. I don't know what happened in terms of like the authors and all that. They went from a different style. They went to a different just a series of encounters that didn't make any sense. It was such a stark deviation from a Red-Handed Doom to those adventures. They were terrible. We bought the Demon Web Pits thing, the City of Spider Queen. They were just shit. Make it as long as you want. I'm in for the ride. Thank you. I'm a little different. Most people who do reviews, they do a 20-minute review, and that's long. They usually do a 10-minute review. What are you going to talk about in a 10-minute fucking review? I liked it. Good binding. What are you going to talk about there? You can't talk about shit. You want to really know a module, an adventure. You want a long review, especially with a longer modules and adventures, right? So yeah. Monty Cook and James Wyatt were active writers in 3rd. They were, and I think Monty Cook wrote 3rd edition or 3rd 3.5 or something, right? So yeah. All right. So you got 2nd edition, Dead Cod's Planescape. I was not a fan of Planescape, and the only Ravenloft I ever did was the actual Ravenloft itself, the original one. Dark Sun I never played. I was a straight up D&D player, either Greyhawk or Forgotten Realms. I didn't dive into the settings, although I do have some of them. I have the Mythdraenor one, City of Splendors. I'm looking over my shelf here. Caratur, Ruins Undermountain, a couple of the Forgotten Realms box sets. I have the Horde one. Yeah, I think Mastica, I might have that one too. Can't see over there that far though. Yeah, Money Cookers, exactly. The module has some interesting NPCs. Does it? All right. I mean, maybe I'll take a look at it and see. But yeah, let's see. A campaign as evil Drow going against the humans would be a fun adventure to publish. In other words, you're evil, an evil adventure. You're evil Drow, and you got to kill. I don't know. You think I would sell an evil adventure? That's different. I mean, it would definitely make a mark, right? You're evil. It's the other side of it. Maybe you do. What if you did Right-Handed Doom from the side of the bad guys, right? You're a low level guy and you adventure and you have to kill the adventurers. That could be interesting. Actually, you're part of the evil horde. Interesting. I don't know. You think it would sell? You think everybody would buy that shit? Night Below, but we're the Drow. The interesting thing about Night Below is there's no Drow. It's an epic campaign for the AD&D game. I think 2nd edition though. Because that's a 2nd edition kind of thing, right? I believe so, yeah. Designed to take the players from 1st to 10th level, they start as beginning adventurers on a routine courier mission who soon become drawn into combating a sinister plot that menaces the pleasant land of Harrenshire. And by the end of book 1, the evils of Harrenshire, the players' PCs should have worked their way up to 5th level. Book 2, Perils of the Underdark, shifts the scene underground as characters search the seemingly endless realm of the Underdark to discover the fate of the kidnappers' victims. By the time they reach the dark cavern of the Sunless Sea in book 3, they should be 10th level or above, ready at last to confront the ultimate evil behind. I'm talking too fast and I'm stumbling over my own words. Behind the far-reaching conspiracy. All right, so I believe though it's all about mind flayers, if I remember. It's the ultimate dungeon adventure. Yeah, I mean, look at the cover. Mind Flayers, Quo2O, right? Is that an aboleth back there? Yeah, so it's a Duro. I don't know what the hell they are, but yeah, it's not the Dro, which is good. I think that's good. Everything is Dro ever since Drizzt, right? Let's see, Ravenloft and RQ modules, Odyssey, Tale of the Comet, Monstrous Arcana 1, Tyrant and the Sea Devils, Old Man, Caton and the Incredible. I don't ever heard of. What is this? It's all the Dungeon Magazine stuff you're looking at, I guess. I'd never heard of any of these. I have a couple dozen Dungeon magazines, but I don't have them all, Intrigue, you have to be conniving and figure out ways to undermine the city before the invasion. You are the mouse in a cat and mouse game. Make it a race against time. Yeah, it's a flipping it on its head, basically, right? So it'd be interesting. I mean, what if I did Red-Handed Doom from the other side? That could be interesting. I don't know. Now think about it. That's a cool idea, though. It's a cool idea, guys. I think for the next video too, just as a sort of a prelude, I'm going to do I'm definitely going to keep doing the random, not the random, the DM guide videos. They're definitely going to do all that stuff. What do we got? We got 7 people on Rumble still. Nobody on Facebook watching. But what I'm also going to do is talk about Chris Cox. I think he sucks. I mean, I really do. I think that he hit an article. Eric Tankard talked about it, talking about AI and this, that. He talks about his basically how he runs multiple games and different people. I don't think he's a gamer at all. I think he's full of shit. I might do a video on that next, a quick one tomorrow or something like that. That might be my next one, but definitely going to keep doing the DM series and all that stuff too. It might be my rant of the week is fucking with Chris Cox. I don't know. Last week I fucked with that dude on the DM there. So it's kind of fun to fuck with people. Gotta say, talk shit, Overpowered heroes are investigating. If they find you, you lose automatically. Yeah, that could be interesting. Interesting concept, but playing evil adventures requires very mature players. I know. That's the problem. I played evil shit and people got weird. I don't want to get into the evil shit anymore. I mean, if I did it, my old school guys, they'd buy into it, right? But do I want to put out evil stuff on the internet? Not really. But I might do a rehash version of this thing or something. Who knows? It might work. But anyway, guys, it's 11:06. 11:06. Jesus Christ. Yeah, I don't think he's played a real tabletop game. I agree. Not really as being run as a spy thriller. I like Monstrous Arcana, good supplements. The 3rd edition stuff, I don't know. What is Monstrous Arcana? I don't even know. But Anyway, guys, so thank you for listening this long. We got 20 people here, so I can't fucking believe it. But please let me know in the comments what you think I should review. Right now, I'm leaning towards Night Below, so I appreciate it. Who suggested that? Night Below, but we're the Dro. Now, who throw out Night Below? I want to give you the credit here. Who was it? Scrolling up here. S Panther said Night Below. Yeah, that might be good. I might do it. I might do that. All right. So yeah, that might be good. I might right now it's gonna be Night Below, unless you guys throw something really great in the comments. I know that Paladin Hell came up, 15th level adventure, 15 to 20, so that's hardcore. That's some badass shit. But if you guys can think of anything else, throw it in the comments. All right, that'll be the comment of the day. Is what do you want to see? What do you want to see we review? Poor Luke is getting picked on X now. Is he getting picked on X? Really? That's interesting. Why? I'm curious as to why. Is Lucas's name? I keep forgetting his fucking name. He annoys me. Like he annoys me. I can't put my finger on why. Maybe because what I was talking about before early on is that authenticity is the coin of the realm now. And he just comes across as inauthentic. He really does. I just think he's too produced. He's just not himself. He's always got a fucking shtick, So yeah. Baldur's Gate 2. Was it an act where he infiltrates a Drow city magically disguised? No, never seen it. All right. So cool. Yeah. If you guys think of anything else, and this is a general thing, if you guys throw out any comment anywhere, just let me know. Hey, Joe, I want to hear you review this, review that. Of course, D&D only. I have other systems, but I don't run them. I wouldn't be able to gauge the adventure for any other system other than D&D. All the various editions of D&D, of course, except Fourth, because fuck Fourth. But anything, and even OSR stuff. OSR adventures, any James Raji adventures. You want to hear about Death Frost Doom. I've run that a couple times now. Anything like that, too. It's not just officially published D&D things from TSR Wizards. Any adventures that you know of on any OSR publisher, right? So if there's anything good that stands out there, let me know. And I would love to know it and review it and see what it's all about, So, yeah. Tomb of Annihilation. I know I have that. Why do you like that? Same Reza. I know I have it. Was that... I never run it though. I know I have it somewhere. So why do you like that? All right. So get Dungeon Magazine 41 has Old Man Caton and Incredible Edible Dancing Mushroom Band. A great dungeon. The Incredible Edible Dancing Mushroom Band. Is that a riff on Ken Kesey's, the whole magical mystery bus thing, whatever the fuck he did, Tomb of Annihilation is a 5e rehash of Tomb of Horrors. Interesting, was it? All right, maybe I'll take a look at it. I want him to roast. Oh, was that bad? You want me to roast it? If you want me to roast something, that's a different story. Yeah. I'm more than happy to roast some things. I like to be constructive in my criticism and not just like get on there and talk for 2.5 hours on something sucks, right? I want to find things that are good that I can share with the world and say these are good adventures, or mediocre, or they were great in their day, like Dark Tower, but not so good now. Or here's how you might want to make work it, right? But I don't want to sit here and like talk about Forest Oracle for 2.5 hours and how sucky it was, right? For example, but if it's that bad. Luke is a dude from DM's Lair. I did a video on him this week, and he talked about some shit. I shat on him. I think it's whatever. You'll look in the video. Take a look at my rant. That I said something about this guy. I feel bad for this guy. It's 5e's fault. It's the video I talked about there. So take a look at it. But anywho, guys, it's 11:10. So let me get the hell out of here. I got some shit to do before bed. I got to get up early. Lucas have been DMing since high school. Yeah, I don't know about that, man. If he was, he wouldn't be giving such shit advice, I don't think. So, yeah, I don't know. Who the fuck knows? I don't know. But if he seems to be, he would have better advice on things if he's been DMing that long, right? So he seems like he's in his 40s. So, Anywho, I will let all y'all go because it's 11:11. Good timing to end on a numerology kind of thing. 11:11 right now on the East Coast of USA. I will see you tomorrow at 1 p.m. for another video. I will either do it live because I work from home, or I will do it recorded and watch it live with y'all. Okay? Still have a channel in 2 years. I'll send you a sandbox campaign. All right. Same good. That sounds good, Same Reza. More than happy to. And please do like and subscribe, everybody. If you haven't, if you want to spare 99 cents, you want to subscribe, 99 cents a month, help me pay the bill on this shit and won't break the bank. And once we get to 50 subs of any level, we will do a live stream once a month for all you subs. So spread the word, share it around, and subscribe, and feel free. All right. Thanks very much for watching. Oh God, I'm fucking getting punchy here. I appreciate it. And we'll talk to you soon. Almost 3 hours in. Jesus fucking Christ. All right. I'll talk to you tomorrow, guys. Bye-bye.